Stop recording. Okay. Let's see if that... Yep, looks like it's going there. Vulture continues part... like 5, I think? Okay, got that. Getting the link, sharing it around. I'm getting more efficient. I'm knowing what to do. We are making it happen. Sharing it around. I'm getting more efficient. I'm knowing what to do. We are making it happen. Sharing it around. I'm getting more efficient. I'm knowing what to do. Gonna post on all the pages, let people know. It is stream day. I wish, you know, if I made a schedule, that would probably be easier to follow, but I just stream when I want to. Alright, we're gonna have a casual, fun stream. I had my first day on the phones at my customer service job after a lot of training. Hi Lobster. Nice to see you. It didn't, let me put it like this. It was not terrible. At the same time, I don't think that it was great. I didn't have a fun day, but I want to still have fun and have a nice time, and just kind of like vibe a bit, I guess. I was watching some TV, was doing that, but painting is honestly how I chill out. So that's what I'm gonna be doing today. You can see that I have a little bit more progress accomplished on this Vulture since last time we chatted. I was hanging out with a friend, just on voice chat. We were doing some painting together, just me and my buddy, Kings Valley Forge. We were hanging out, having some good hobby chat. Dustin is really cool. He has a YouTube channel as well, so if you like 3D printing or kit bashing digitally, he has a couple videos about that, and you should check them out. Eventually I'll figure out how to link people's, like, have hotkeys, and I can link the people that I talk about in the chat so it's easier for you to find them. Because that would be something... Oh, the video quality is really fuzzy as hell. We're gonna see if we can fix that. We're gonna see if we can fix that. One moment. Just a moment while I attempt to correct that, because that is not the quality I can provide. I can do slightly higher than fuzzy. I think that's slightly higher than fuzzy. That's about as good as we get. But look at how quickly I've solved that, as opposed to, you know, I used to be bumbling at the start of these. I'm getting a little bit quicker. Getting a little bit better. Do I remember where I left off with this? No. No, I don't. It looks like I was painting brown stripes that you almost can't see at all. So that's going to be really fun for us, because I love doing work that is ultimately not going to be noticed. That's what I do professionally, being that I answer people's customer service calls. So it kind of figures that I do the same thing in my free time. But that's fine. We will pick up there, and I will continue painting stripes on this beautiful Vulture of ours. I hope you all are having good days, whoever joins in. I'm holding off on my opinions for the media that you recommended. I've watched some television since we last spoke, so hopefully some of my my frequent viewers will join us here. They might have some questions. We can talk about Archive 81. I've watched the first 3 episodes of Book of Boba Fett as well, so we can get into that. And if nobody shows up, I will just be my own broadcast. I will talk to myself. I'm clearly very content to do so, while also painting. So we're gonna wait and see what happens. Just, I hope you guys are having a good Thursday. I remembered that it was Thursday throughout parts of the day, and then forgot at other times. I'm glad I remembered towards the end of the day, though, because they pick up trash on Friday morning, so it's a struggle Thursday night to be like, oh yeah, I gotta take my trash can out. But I remembered to do that before it got super dark. I keep finding stuff in this house, not in the house necessarily, sometimes just around the house that's a little strange. Me and my friends were walking to my friend's car at one point, and we saw a raccoon climb down the storm drain, which is right in front of my house, and into the sewer. So I'm a little afraid to see the sewer raccoon at night when I have a delicious bucket full of trash that I'm bringing to the curb. I do think that raccoon would absolutely stab me for, like, some old eggshells and, whatever else I've got in my trash can. Plastic, probably. I was trying to think of what other things I've thrown away recently. But, tend to throw something in the trash can and not think about it all too much. But even just eggshells, I think, would be enough for a raccoon to shank me. So I try not to take the trash to the curb at night, because I now live in, I wouldn't say fear, I would say mild concern of the sewer raccoon. Hector is here. He would like you to know that he is also a part of this stream. Aren't you, buddy? You sure are. You aren't afraid of the sewer raccoon? You aren't afraid? Yeah, I know. You want to be a ham on camera right now, but I'm not going to let you. Because I have to paint. I have to paint, buddy. Go be cute somewhere else. Hey, talking back. The sass. Yeah. Sorry about him. He's adorable, but yes, he certainly can be sassy. Sorry if the stream quality is a little fuzzy. It's one of those things I want to improve, and, we're working on it. We're certainly working on it. It's unfortunate that everything I'd like to use to improve this channel costs buttloads of money. I wish I could snap my fingers and have a higher quality camera for y'all, but that ain't in the cards right now. Someday, though. It's on the list. For certain. Why else would I be working my fun little customer service job if not to buy more hobby stuff? Food, I guess. Living. That's important, too. But camera's on the list. It'll happen. Now, camera and a 2,000 point army, that'd be the dream. That'd be the dream. Alright, so that looks pretty good as far as the brown stripes go. Guess I'll try and get under this tail bit here. I'm not sure how well that's gonna film exactly, because it's a tough angle to paint at just to begin with, but we'll see what happens. Do my best. I figure, like, some feathers look one color one way and then another color when you turn them around, so that's kind of what I'm going for here, because the the front half is like a lighter kind of tan color, and the bottom half is more like a muddy brown. So I think that's cool. It's as close to a natural phenomena as I'm likely to see on this Vulture. I don't think we've gone too naturalistic with him in terms of color and pattern. Especially because I think what we're gonna do tonight as well is I will be attempting to paint waffle cone stripes on his beak and his claws and his horns. Now, waffle cone pattern is a lot of very thin lines, so it's tricky to get right, especially if you're me. But I used to do it on a lot of my orcs weaponry, because that was what I was into for my 40k orcs. They are ice cream orcs, mint chocolate chip, so they all had to have waffle cone to better communicate that concept to the general public. And I mean, they look great, I love them, but waffle cone detailing can be a bit of a bitch to do. It can, Hector. Thank you for chiming in. Yeah, little beeps. Yeah. Okay, I'll put you on camera. You happy? Where'd you go? There you is. There you is. He wants some time. He wants his moment in the sun. There's the baby. Oh, you can yeah, you can see him. He's getting some pets. He's getting some love. He's an affectionate little lad. There we go. There's Hector. Always looking to take a moment and have some attention for himself. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna do some waffle cone detailing today. We're hopeful for that anyway. And we'll just kind of see where we get from that. I want a stronger base coat on this, because there's some spots where you can see the Zenithal peeking through. You can see the Hector peeking through. Sir, you cannot eat this paint. Please go somewhere else. Please go somewhere else. Yep, find somewhere else to be. There you go. He's been super mischievous today. When I was making dinner, he was trying to get into everything. I think he's just in a mood. Sometimes your cats get in a mood. I do sometimes relate to, I don't know if you guys are fans of Bob's Burgers, but there's one episode where this lady, Gail, she's like a cat lady. She's just like, I'm in a fight with my cat. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that. Anytime that I have to take them to the vet, it feels kind of like we are in a fight. My cats get a little angry at me for that. So, you know. And I'm just like, please go in your carrier so, you know, I can get you what you need. But they've had all their annual checkups and stuff, so shouldn't be a problem until next year. Then the whole cycle begins anew. Alright, that seems like a better coat. I'm really nervous to try this, because if it doesn't work and I can't get the waffle cone to look right, I don't know that the candy concept is gonna come across like as, I don't want to say abrasive, because abrasive is the wrong word, but as strongly as I'd like. Oh, hey! Evilano, nice to see you. Thank you for coming to the stream. How is it going today? Today was a rough one. I had a tough time at work. We've had to take our first calls out of training, and it felt like everything that I had been trained on kind of left my head all at once. And I definitely made a lot of mistakes, which, you know, it's not the end of the world, but it's a little tough when you just kind of feel like the the stuff that you know, you can't prove that you know, essentially. And so, it's a little frustrating today, but I think shaking off the nerves, it'll be better tomorrow. Hector is confident it'll be better tomorrow as well. But, tonight, you know, tonight's gonna be a good night. Gonna have some fun hobby time. Gonna have Hector chiming in every now and again, like he always does. And I am gonna get some more work done on this Vulture. Thank you! I appreciate that encouragement. That means a lot. I think I can hang in there, and I kind of have to hang in there, like, you know, to have a job and be able to afford all the stuff that I need and live in this lovely capitalist hellscape that the previous generations created for me. So we'll go with that. I think that waffle cone on that nose doesn't look too bad, so we'll see if we can replicate it on the other side. Hopefully we can. We will certainly try. Now, Anna, was it you who was telling me that I needed to watch Archive 81, or was that Josh? I think it may have been Josh, but I do not recall. And I don't wanna, you know, not give you my opinion if you were the one who was like, you should watch this, because I did watch that first episode. It's already 1:17 a.m. That hardly stopped you last time. You were like, it's 4 a.m., but I'm still gonna be here. You need to, yeah, that poor sleep schedule of yours, man. I feel so bad. I wish I could help you with that. Sadly, all I can do is offer some entertainment in these late hours or of the night / early hours of the evening. That's the most I will be able to do for you. And hope that, you know, your ability to sleep improves in the coming days. This does not look as good as the other side. Does it look acceptable? I think it does. Is it perfect? No. Nothing I paint is perfect, but I'd still, you know, it's buyable as waffle cone. I think it works. Again, it's not perfect. And I think I might want to have the stripes go more like that and kind of pick out some of the parts where it doesn't go the way that I want it to and cover them back up. So I'll do that really quick while I'm thinking of it. Hey! Victor Manuel Garza Sanchez. What is up indeed? We are painting a vulture tonight. Ah, you have a class tomorrow. Okay. Is it anything interesting? What do they teach in school these days? I've not been to school since college, and I honestly no intent to go back. I had a tough enough time in school. I was very bad at math. I like to think I did okay socially, but I was very unobservant most of the time of what was going on around me, so not actually sure, but spooky bird, yes indeed. Bird full of spooks, and we are painting him to look like he is made out of candy to, you know, keep with the channel's theme. Welcome to the stream, Dr. Divine. This is the progress. Oh, hello, Liam of Millennial Model Mayhem. What is up? I'm using my stream to have some nice times after my day at work was stressful. Okay, you have a class on entry-level biophysics. That sounds really complicated. Good luck. I know nothing about biophysics. It sounds like a lot of math and a lot of science, aka a lot of stuff that I would be very, very bad at. Very, very bad at. You should have been here the other night, Liam. We were talking about Gundams. And I was like, yeah, I don't really fucking know anything about Gundams, but your channel has Gundams on it, and they seem pretty cool. That was pretty much the extent of my knowledge of Gundams. Seem cool, will maybe get into someday. Yeah, maybe next time. We'll have to facilitate. You know, one day I'll actually have a Gundam to build, and then I'll be like, "Yo, what up with all these robots?" And you can help me troubleshoot my robot problems. It'll be lots of fun. I think some of them are robots, right? Or all of them are robots? I don't really know, 'cause like having a pilot is an important aspect of a Gundam, right? They're like, it's like Horse Girls, but with robots. You know, you gotta bond with your mech or whatever the shit. I don't really know how it works. It seems that way though. People get emotionally attached. Like, I only watched a few episodes of Gurren Lagann, whatever that one is, because it's very flashy. But I did like that little tiny robot that had, like, the drill for the nose. He was super cute. I was like, I understand how someone could get attached to that. Yeah, I've seen that little green ball thing. He seems cute. But, you know, kind of basic. I feel like if I'm gonna do a Gundam, I want to do a chonky boy. I found the chonky boy that I want to paint. I just have to, you know, actually stop buying 2 million tiny orcs and painting the same goblin models over and over again for my armies, and, like, you know, branch out into other products. That would be what I have to do. Gundam with a lollipop mace would be pretty awesome. I'm trying to remember the name of the chunky boy that I want to paint. I know he's from Iron-Blooded Orphans, I think is the name of the anime. I haven't seen him. And he's like, I think he's the bad guy. He's like the bad guy's robot, or maybe he's just like a goon. I don't really know. But he has these huge, like, round shoulder pad looking things, and he carries a hammer, and I'm like, I'm gonna make that hammer into a pizza oven, and those round things are gonna be pizzas, and that's what we're gonna go with. Liam says I'm thinking of a Geisen. I don't know how to pronounce that. Let's see. Let me take a second. I'll Google it. I'll see if that's what I'm thinking of. And then if it is what I'm thinking of, I'll throw a picture up on the doobly-doo so that you can see it. Yes! Yeah, I think that is what I'm thinking of, because I see the image of him. Yeah! This is the guy that I want, but he's sold out everywhere, so I'm like, I can't work with that. Because apparently he's only supposed to be like $10, which seems, you know, comparative to mini prices, I'm like, that's a really good freaking deal. You know, because everything in Warhammer costs $1 million, and you get one of it. Here we go. This is the boy. He's gonna take up the whole screen for a second. Hang on. Hold the phone. There he is. We'll put him right there. So that's the Gundam that I am thinking of. And you can kind of see how, like, this Gundam is perfectly suited to what I want to do. The round things on his chunky shoulders would be perfect pizzas. That hammer is already pizza oven shaped. he could have a little apron, like, you know, because he's already kind of got the aprony torso kind of thing going on. Like, I don't know that I'll put a chef hat on him, but I could, and I like knowing that I could do it if I wanted to. But yeah, that's the vision there. That's the dream. You think that pizza oven idea is a million times better? I'm glad you like it. I think it's pretty cool too. Yeah, there are some biomechanical mecha, and frankly, there are some mech animes that I'm just like, what? Why? Like, I think there's one called Darling in the Frank, I think is something like that. And I, like, watched a half an episode while my ex-roommate was watching it. And, it seemed cool, like there were demons and a storybook going on. And then the next thing I know, it's just awkwardly positioned, like, riders and, or I guess, I want to say they're the pilots and the Gundam spirit fused. It was weird. I wasn't into it. That wasn't one that I tried. If it had stayed with, like, the demon stuff, then maybe, because demons are cool. But, yeah, I wasn't into the rest of that. No, thank you. So maybe I just need, like, a good Gundam anime to watch. I really wanted to get into Gurren Lagann or Gurren Lagann. I'm American, I don't know how to pronounce these things very well. But it got kind of, like, sad, and then I was like, yeah, I'm not in the right mindset to watch sad anime about robot. I can't. I wasn't in the right place for it, you know. And I think those who've seen it, they know what I'm talking about. Liam, I will trust your description of that, and not investigate further. I will believe you on that one, because I had kind of the same opinion. I hear that Neon Genesis Evangelion is, like, the one that, you know, is supposed to be good, but it's not one that I've watched. I don't know if it's actually good. What would you recommend? Promare? A movie from 2019? Okay. That sounds kind of like a weird pronunciation, Promare, but that's definitely how it's spelled. Anime movies tend to do well with me, although sometimes they just kind of end, and I don't like when they just stop. Like, there's this movie I was dying to watch, because I saw it in, like, a store, and I was like, that's the coolest title for a movie ever. But it was like $60, because anime movies are expensive sometimes. So I waited until that store was, like, literally going out of business, and no one had bought it, so I just bought it. And it was called Empire of Corpses. Like, yeah, that's the coolest name for a movie ever. And I watched it, and it was really good for a while, but it just, like, stops. I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure this is where it ends? And, like, anime movies, I guess, seem to do that a lot. Like, even Studio Ghibli movies kind of hit a point where they just kind of end, and I'm like, what the heck, man? Like, that's not the end. You haven't resolved any of the things that you've set up. Like, you can't tell me Porco Rosso doesn't just stop. Like, they ran out of time to make it or some shit. It just ends, and I'm like, okay. Sure? I guess we can end it here. If you want to, Miyazaki. And I'm not going to critique one of the most well-respected filmmakers of our time, but also, you know, it just kind of stops. Like, what the fuck? Okay. Watch Gundam Thunderbolt December Sky. It's a movie. Okay. Promare was nice. Definitely see why the main guy gets shipped so hard. That sounds like a typical anime. Yep. Doesn't surprise me. has a sequel, The Bandit Rose or something, and December Skies on YouTube. That makes me way more likely to watch it, because stuff on YouTube is easy to find. I love when animes are just on YouTube. Like, one of my favorite animes in the entire world is just on YouTube. Actually, 3 of my favorite animes in the entire world are on YouTube. And in order, it would be Modao Zushi, which is just incredible. Love that. So well animated. No one I know has seen it, and I need people to go and watch it so I can talk to them about it. Like, now. Actually, don't leave this stream and watch it, but watch it later and then give me your thoughts. I would love to hear them. Then, the remake of Dororo was, like, super, super good. Loved that. Haven't stopped thinking about it since I watched it, if I'm honest. And, there's this anime about a calligrapher called Barakamon. That one's really good, too. I watch that one whenever I'm, like, in a really low place, and I'm like, what am I doing with my life as an artist? Because it always kind of makes me feel better about that. If you're an artist and you're struggling to figure out why you're bothering to do what you're doing, you should watch that anime. It'll make you feel some feelings that are helpful. At least I've found them to be helpful. Have I ever seen Mononoke the series, not the Ghibli movie? No, I have not. I don't think so anyway. That's not like the Nisiosen one with, like, Bakemonogatari and Kizumonogatari and all of those. If it is, then I've seen some of those. High School of the Dead. Okay, is that... I think I've vaguely heard of that one before. That has something to do with zombies, right? But they're also, like, schoolgirls at the same time. It seems a lot of premises of anime are, like, they are something, but also schoolgirls at the same time. I'm still watching, Jujutsu Kaisen is the anime that I'm working my way through right now. Because my friend Marty has been like, you should watch Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. So that's the one I'm working my way through. I think Itadori is a pretty fun, he's a pretty fun protagonist. The one with the medicine peddler. That sounds like Mushishi, but I don't think that that's the same thing. I've watched some of Mushishi. I should really watch all of Mushishi, because it's fun. But I tend to get bored halfway through. It's kind of repetitive. Which isn't a problem, but when, you know, I'm, like, not in the mood, I'll just go find a different anime to watch and then finish that other anime and then not remember what happened in Mushishi, so I'll have to start again. I think I've seen the first episode of Mushishi, like, 8 or 9 times. I'll get around to it. Well, yeah, that's a problem with so many anime. I work really hard to find animes where that's not an issue, because it really, honestly, nothing freaking makes me want to shut an anime off, like, over-sexualization. I'm just like, we don't need this, sir. And I try to ensure that anything that I would recommend, that I would endorse, keeps that to a minimum if it has it at all. But it is so freaking hard to find animes without that. I don't know how, even now, in 2022, we are still dealing with this goddamn problem. Mononoke has nice self-contained stories, so you can probably watch them one at a time. Good to know. Good to know. I like a good self-contained story myself. That's why I have really been enjoying, I guess it's not exactly self-contained, but I like stuff, like The Mandalorian, and I would add Book of Boba Fett to that at this point, because each episode has, like, ooh, this little mini plot, that wraps up, and then there's kind of the overarching plot that you can choose to follow, but, you know, sometimes it's just like, oh, we're going to this world today. Monster of the Week is not a bad thing. I guess people tend to think it is nowadays. Like, it seems hard to find anything without an overarching plot. Even kids shows these days have overarching plots. Like, I'm really surprised about that. I'm not like, you know, preschool shows, but stuff like Gravity Falls had overarching plot, Over the Garden Wall. Recently I watched one called The Owl House, and that had a overarching plot, so I don't know if I was just watching the wrong stuff with my childhood, but I'm pretty sure Cat Dog did not have any themes or consistency to it. I don't quite remember plots being an important part of, like, my childhood cartoon watching experience. Could just be me, though. Could just be me. Because I didn't see Avatar: The Last Airbender till I was, like, I don't know, 12. I should have watched that sooner. That show is baller. Cat Dog did, but it wasn't the focus. Okay, that's fair. Yeah. Couldn't tell you a thing. Yeah, Invader Zim got a lot of stuff. I remember that. I wasn't allowed to watch Invader Zim as a kid. My mom was like, this cartoon isn't good. My mom doesn't have any taste, so she was wrong, but also, looking at Invader Zim, like, I kind of understand it. I get it. But, you know. It's just one of those ones. And I'd try and go back and watch it now, but I'll be honest with you, the voices, Zim's voice drives me pretty crazy. It's pretty annoying. And, I can't. I just can't do it. I'm glad that people had that as a fun show from their childhood, but unfortunately it wasn't a part of mine. And I just can't seem to get into it as an adult, so, you know. Don't think I'm without flaws. Can't be perfect. Alright, now we're gonna see if we can make these horns look like waffle cone. Everybody just kind of stick with me here. We can get some of these lines to look nice. At least on the front. Like, if I screw it up on the back, that's the part that I have to look at. And that's kind of fine. But I want the front to look nice, because that's where I'll be photographing this mini from. It's what anyone who, like, comes to fight me will be looking at, most likely. That's the good angle there. Foster's Home from Imaginary Friends? No, I also did not watch that as a kid. My mom was a big fan of not letting me watch any fun TV shows. So there are a lot of old ones that I didn't see. She was like one of those Pokemon are the devil, Harry Potter will make you into a witch kind of parents, so, you know, fun stuff. Kyo and the Promised Flower Blooms is a beautiful movie that made me cry in the theater. Oh, well, that's pretty cool. I love when movies make me cry. It happens a lot. Have any of you ever watched Summer Wars? It's by the same guy who did, I want to say, who did Wolf Children and did Belle. That's a really, really solid film. I liked that one a lot. Good animation. Plot that definitely made me cry. But, like, not a big plot. More of, like, a small acts of kindness matter kind of plot where it's, like, one person kind of affects a lot of things and stuff like that. I live for that shit. I'm a very small person. I don't have a very large reach. But I like to think that kindness isn't wasted. So Stuff like that gets me. There are definitely some shows that have jokes that hit harder as an adult, for sure. For sure. I think watching Shrek as a kid and watching Shrek as an adult, you're watching two different films, which is fine. Like, I love that Shrek 2 has a joke about unionizing in it. I think that's hilarious. It's not a perfect comparison. I wish I could think of a TV show where I'm like, ah yes, the adult humor in this is great. Episode about plane tickets, and there's a joke about a background character who wants those tickets to find her family because she got lost in a trip to America. Alright. Fair enough. At the end, they give her the ticket, and she's happy, but the end credits nail the joke. She's singing happy and found her family, but they scream at her, "Shut up! Why do you think we Oh, damn! That's cold! That's not funny, that's just cold. Hector, I swear to God, if you jump on this table. What did you do? You got your collar stuck in your mouth. Don't do that. This boy and his problems. His problems and their boy. I fixed it. Don't worry. His collar is no longer stuck in his mouth. Do you just need more room? Is that what you're asking for? He's crawling along the top of my desk, and I don't know what he wants. Trying to appease him so he does not knock over the project that I've been working on. Yeah, that's kind of hard hitting for a kid show. Like, dang. Ooh, I don't like how that part's going. I think I'm gonna have to repaint the tip of that. Or, you know, we could do chocolate dips at the tips of this waffle cone. I think we'll do that. It'll emulate like those horns that are darker, you know, at the tips. I think it'll look good. We turn our mistakes into opportunities here on my channel. People are always talking about how you should do that in like a corporate environment, and that's dumb. But you should do that in a painting environment, because then you don't have to go back and paint over stuff. You can just be like, ah, I clearly intentionally meant for that to be chocolate tipped horns. And if we really want to make it look intentional, we can add some sprinkles to them a little later on. And that'll be very cute. But we probably won't, because we already have quite a few details going on in terms of the candy on this model. If you want to see a really cool 3-minute animation, look up Pupperia on YouTube. I might check that out. Thank you for the recommendation. You all give me so many recommendations, and that's really fun. I'm taking the photo of the Chonky boy away just because we're not talking about Gundams anymore, so I don't want to confuse people and have them come in and be like, oh, where's the Gundam? Unfortunately, there is no Gundam. I don't own it yet. Hopefully I will. The thing about animes and merchandise is you find yourself wanting things you do not know that you needed at all. You don't want, and you probably shouldn't make the room to afford. Like, y'all, there's a $300 statue coming out of my boy Wei Wuxian from Modao Zushi in 2023. Like, 2023 is when this statue comes out that is very beautiful, mind you, but do I need a statue of a pretty anime boy just in my house looking cool? No, absolutely not. Did I look at it on a website for a good 20 minutes and debate pre-ordering? Yes. Yes, I did. What the fuck is wrong with me? Why do you need that, Fives? You don't. You don't need that at all. But it was pretty, so I was like, I'm gonna sit here and think about that for a second. Fortunately, logic kicked in, and I was like, that is not in the budget, do not pre-order it, and so I didn't. But pre-orders are still active on some websites, and they need to all go down so I can just not keep that in my head as a remote possibility of what to spend bonus money on if I get any. There's so many other things that I could be using my money for that are not statues of characters from animes. Things that actually deserve my money. So, you know, prioritize my spending when. Gundam clickbait report. Sorry. I promise I'll get a Gundam at some point. That was you with Warhammer. Orcs are my main army, right? Yes, they are. This is an orc for my main army. I have a Cruel Boys. I mean, he doesn't look particularly, like, orky, I guess, in the typical sense, because Games Workshop changed the orc design, and they look more like hobgoblins, but I kind of like that they look different. But, I mean, here's a proper, like, orky-looking one. He's old and a sorcerer, which I like, but this is an unpainted... He's still a work in progress, but he's got, like, the shield with the face on it. He's an orc, for sure. Do I have any models I don't play, but keep around for my orcs to fight in photos? I've never had a model where I'm, like, specifically you are here to pose with so that you can look like you're fighting this guy. So... Specifically, to answer that question, no. Supplementally, though, I have definitely painted or built models, or have fully painted models for armies I do not own, nor that I intend to own. I'm gonna turn off the vibrate setting on my phone in just a second, because I realize I didn't do that. And it is probably making some weird sounds happen for you guys, so I'll fix that. But I've certainly got models that I have not... that aren't part of my orc army. You have a good night, Anno. I hope that you get some sleep in. That you're able to and have a good day at class tomorrow with your biophysics. Good luck. Good luck. All right. Hey, GMJ, thank you. I think he's coming along. He's coming along. We're doing the waffle cone on the front of him. And some of his claws and talons and stuff might be waffle cone by the end of this. Oh, okay, Blood Angels, fair enough. I'm not a Space Marine person myself, but I like the idea of having a faction that you just have so that you can stage battles and photos. That sounds actually like a really cool idea. I should change my Adeptus Mechanicus army from being functional to being decorative, because then I wouldn't have to paint more of them. And I don't know if you've seen... I don't know if you were here for the one stream where I was kind of digging through the models that I have to unpack and still haven't done so, because my friend Shane has said he's going to drop off a display case for me that he got me for Christmas, which is really, really kind of him, but he's been busy and has a new job, so he hasn't dropped it off yet, so I'm like, I don't want to unpack stuff until I have the display case to put it in. But my Adeptus Mechanicus color scheme is not... It's even worse than this one for how much detail I have to put into it, so it's not sustainable as a army that will ever get painted quickly. I'd love to try doing a speed painted army. That would be like a smart, good thing for me to do. Because this Vulture alone, I've had like 4 or 5 3-hour painting sessions on him. He's definitely getting up there, in terms of time it has taken me. And it's all because I refuse to compromise on all these little candy details that I want to do. The things we do for love. Delicious, can't wait to eat it. Yeah. Yeah, he's looking more and more like candy, at least. I mean, I don't know if anyone would get it if I like, wasn't there to explain it, so I'm hoping the waffle cone will kind of do that, and they'll be like, what? What is going on? Maybe they'll get it, but probably not. Yeah, AdMech are really cool. I love seeing people who do, like, really grimdark AdMech. I think it looks good. And I wish I'd kind of... Like, I don't wish that I'd gone in that direction exactly, because I like how I paint my stuff, but if I was gonna, actually paint, like, an AdMech army to feasibly have as something to game with, practically, I'd probably go, like, a more traditional grimdark route. Pokemon. Yeah, Jam and Haze, exactly. You get the Pokemon, vibes, and then you're just like, must collect. Jam and Haze, I can't remember. Was it you the other day who told me to watch Archive 81? I think it was Josh, but it may have been you, and I did watch it, and I'm saving my thoughts on that to whoever recommended it to me if they show up in the chat today, because I wanna let them know what I thought. But I didn't save who. I guess I could have gone back and watched my own stream, figured it out, but my brain just isn't doing the brain things too good today, so I don't remember. There definitely is some sort of, like, garbage Pokemon part of my brain that wants me to collect all of the miniatures. For sure that happens. Like, I think Games Workshop announced a new giant, like, Eldar model today that looked really cool. I don't have Eldar. I don't like Eldar. But I wanted to paint that model because it looked cool. Do you think Grimdark art style is kind of overrated in the wargaming community? No, I don't. I love stuff like, I think people talk about Blanchitsu as a style, and like what 28 Mag kind of puts out as a style. And I know folks like Jeremy from Black Magic Craft, and I think to some degree Trent from Miscast, they all kind of had their flirtations with Grimdark as a style, and they were really cool to see. I would love to see people be influenced by something that wasn't just John Blanche, because although he did make really cool artwork for Games Workshop, so it makes sense, like, where that comes into effect, and people are like, yes, I want to paint in the style of the artwork from the thing that I like. I also think, like, he's very clearly influenced by some surrealist artists, and I think it would be cool if people looked into them, because they might find some other stuff that they like. 52 Miniatures, Alex recently put out a video where he was painting, like, a grimdark space marine, plague marine kind of thing, but from a 3D printing company, so they couldn't actually call it a space marine. I forget what he called it. Your store brand space marine. But he took a color palette from Harmonious Bosch's work, who was a painter that I just love. And I like seeing that. I really enjoy that. I think, you know, Grimdark is a really interesting style. And you can take a couple of colors and some, like, dirt texture paste and make something look really interesting. Really, it's got, like, a mood to it, right? And that's cool to me. You think overexposed highlights is overrated? Fair enough. I don't think I would consider any technique overrated, because it's like, you know, what's overrated? I don't know enough people with painted armies to see enough to be like, this is kind of repetitive, you know? Like, one of the players in my group has his Ideneth Deepkin painted like they're swimming through lava, And it's the coolest fucking thing. I love that. So I don't think I know enough people who play to be like, I think the hobby is oversaturated with X thing. You see a lot of Frenzetta influence online these days. High contrast with wild colors and crazy blends. Not good enough to pull it off yourself. Yeah, that's kind of why I don't try and paint the box art. My edge highlighting kind of sucks, and my wet blending isn't really there yet, so, like, I'll let good old Sergio Calvarone and the others do their thing. That's not the level of painting that I feel like I'm at a space to achieve, or want to take the time to learn how to achieve just yet, so, I paint like I paint. Gerald Braum. Oh, yeah, totally. Glad you brought him up, actually. Hang on, one moment. Love that guy. Yes, last time we were showing off some Moomin books. We'll show off something different today. Ugh. So a while ago I picked this up, because, you know, it's just weird. Love weird stuff. But this is Gerald Braum's artwork. For people who don't know, he wrote this really cool book. I'll set my Vulture aside just to show you. He wrote like a storybook, but for adults. So it's like, you know, it's a picture book for sure, but the art in it is insane. I mean, you want to talk about like intense, high contrast color palette, stuff like this. You've got like the white and the purples and this orange glow from beneath. He even has, like, some concept art going on in the back. His artwork is really cool. I'm a big fan. And it's creepy and weird. This is like you would think this would be the opposite of the stuff that I'm into with my general hatred for Nurgle. But, nah, Braum's artwork is super sick. I love it. This is good stuff. This is very good stuff. So, yeah. And you can just Google Braum artwork, and you'll get tons of inspiration for stuff. Like, his use of color and the way he can paint something dark, but have all the detail be readable. Sublime. And there are actually miniatures made of several of his characters. They're like, kind of, if you're good at painting and want to do a bust or a good piece sort of artwork, miniatures, not just like, you know, average hobbyist paint kind of shit. Like I wouldn't trust myself to paint any of those, but maybe you paint at a higher skill level than I do and want to give it a try. But they're also expensive and limited run, so best of luck. Introducing Braum-style movements. No, that's not a world I want to live in. I'd love to see a wargame based on Western cartoon art style, something wacky. Look up Townsfolk Tussle. By, I think it's Panic Roll or Roll Panic. It's a 1930s cartoon-inspired game. You'll love it. It's fun to play. I've been playing it with some friends. And the miniatures are like a perfect rubber hose style, so that should float your boat for Western cartoons. He looks amazing. Oh no, you have thoughts on buying Eldar? Yep, that's how it happens. That's how it happens. Used to play Deadlands, and he did a lot of art for that. Undead Cowboys and Native American Spellcasters. Very cool. Earth tones with the sepia wash. Yeah, that would probably be a good way to start off some things. Yeah, of course. I actually did an unboxing of Townsfolk Tussle because I backed their Kickstarter for their board game before I had a YouTube channel or anything like that. I wasn't even, like, thinking about it. And then it arrived in the mail, and I was like, this is cool. I actually really want to do a video on painting some of the miniatures. So if you take a look at it, let me know which miniatures in there you think are the coolest, or which ones you think you would like to see me paint. And who knows, that could be A future video coming soon to a channel near you. That is my channel. Elder is yin and you Drukari is yang. Yunari fan here. Okay. Okay. That's fair. You know, I think the fact that I almost always choose orcs for stuff, it makes it hard for me to ever pick elves. They seem opposite in their ideals. So just knowing that, you know, Eldari and Eldar and Drukari are just different flavors of space elf, I never really feel myself get drawn to them. I know that's unfair, heck, but it's the truth. If you want to play elves, you save your little cat pocket money and you can buy your own Warhammer army. We'll get you some Lumineth Realm Lords to paint. That sound good? Yeah. He talks. That little cat of mine, he's a chatty guy. He's got his opinions. I would absolutely love to do a video where my cats pick the colors for a Warhammer army. I'm not at the point in time where I have enough spare models lying around that's a practical thing to do. Because, yeah, but I think it would be funny. Drukari's the edgelord you found on DeviantArt. Just deviants and cringe to some degree. Eldari are like Redditors. They always believe they are right. You know. Yep. I'm not gonna say you're wrong. I'm not gonna say you're right, but I'm not gonna say you're wrong either. Orcs are fun. Correct. That's why I like them. You can know nothing about them, and that's exactly enough. Yep, absolutely. I mean, I've created a whole backstory for my orcs, for my cruel boys here. And I'm slowly working on naming all of them, too. Each one of them is going to have their name painted on the underside of their base. Not because it's important to anybody else, but because I think it's cool. If I'm going to spend all my time painting these tiny guys, I want them to have names and stories and positions in their little tribe that, you know, I'm never going to... If I write any stories about them, they're never going to see the light of day because they're not in line with official GW lore or any stuff like that, but, I like orcs. I think that there should be more developed orc societies in Warhammer, and I am going to develop my army's backstory because I can, and there's nobody around to stop me. Those are good reasons to do things. DeviantArt, but in space. Have I ever thought about using colored resin for stuff like lollipops? Yes, I have. So actually, the bases for these guys, my orcs come from a grape soda swamp, so they need to have soda bases, because I'm an insane person that thinks pouring resin on a horde army amount of bases is something that I can achieve. And it doesn't show up on camera very well because, you know, limitations of what I've got. But I'll try and let you see. You'll at least be able to see the shine coming off of it. But this is, I'm just gonna set a vulture aside. This is the Killaboss from the Dominion box. And you can see on his base there's like a purpley sheen and it's shiny. And there are little, like, chocolate, melty, off-brand Hershey Kisses sticking up out of the ground. That is the soda swamp around him. And it's really cool because I accidentally dripped some resin onto the spear and this guy's foot. And, the tip of the spear and some of these, like, teeth on here. That was unintentional. That was me being bad at pouring resin. But it totally just kind of emulates the poisoned weapon look that the Cruel Boys are supposed to have, because the whole venom-encrusted weapons thing is kind of their shtick. I'm really, really proud of how this guy turned out. I think he's a good representation of, like, what I was going for with the army. So I'm really happy with him. It's a shame that this model doesn't see a lot of use, because most of my models are just a wee bit stronger than this guy. So I don't end up taking him with my army as often. Yeah, but this is one of the models that I'm very proud of. Any ideas for how to... Oh, sorry, you guys all commented so much. Orcs are shroom heads. You know some lore. There you go. Gonna be so cool. Any ideas for how to do the bubbles and fizz? I wish. I don't really have any ideas for bubbles, except I don't pop the bubbles that appear in my resin. A lot of people are like, that's kind of poor quality resin, you should make sure you pop the bubbles, but I want bubbles to be in the soda, so I just kind of let them be. I don't know how I would achieve a fizz effect. Maybe I could use some snow effects for that, but I don't think I will. I know it's not obvious enough that it's grape soda to, like, other people, and that's fine. I don't think this army is obviously candy unless you kind of put it all together and you look at it really hard, which I don't think most people are going to take the time to do. But I know what it's supposed to be, so that's fine. Sounds like an awful place to live. Are you kidding me? I'd love to live in a soda swamp. That would be fun. It would be like, you know, different. I think my orcs would like it. That's why all their, like, potions and magic and stuff are purple. Because it's grape soda. So sticky. Yeah, that'd probably be a problem. Orcs feel like they just kind of have, like, slimy skin. I imagine it would just kind of slide right off. Well, you got a 90% to get diabetes if you live there. They stab you and you instantly develop diabetes. Oh, you guys are killing me. Resin is fun. Green stuff especially, sure. As long as the swamp is Pepsi, you would live there. I don't know that Pepsi makes grape soda. I don't know who owns Fanta. But they could do it. Or any, like, store brand grape soda that you might see at, like, Walmart or whatever. Sugar-free candy. It could be. Sugar-free Werther's caramels. I gotta be honest with you guys. I've never went out of my way to buy a sugar-free candy. So I couldn't recommend any to you. I'm not the healthiest person in terms of what I decide to paint or what I decide to eat. But my resolution this year is not to eat healthier. It's just to cook more and to read some more books. So maybe next year healthy eating will come into play. But I can only do but so much through this pandemic. And sometimes it means I eat key lime pie for breakfast for like a week. And that's okay. At least I'm eating a breakfast. It might be pie. It might not be pie. We'll take it baby steps. And as of now, there is not a history of diabetes in my family, thankfully, and I haven't gotten diagnosed with anything, so no health concerns that I am currently aware of. All flavors in Soda Town. Is deadly as poison, combining Pepsi with milk. You know, I've drunk that before. Me and my cousins used to play around. We would play, like, a kid's version of the reality television program Survivor, and we would make up all these challenges, and we would vote each other out, and inevitably, my cousins would decide that one of the challenges we needed to do we would just put, like, every beverage that we have in the house into, like, a hat and pull out a couple and have to drink whatever combination of stuff we came up with. There was some nasty shit that I've definitely drunk in my time playing that game. I never won, But, you know, I'm sure I've had milk with Pepsi before, and I didn't die from it, so that's good. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that about your dad. I'm glad he's dealing with it. That's gotta be tough. It's gotta be tough. Green algae on your grandma's driveway that you dare each other to step in with bare feet. Yeah. Kids have, like, no sense of self-preservation. It's hilarious to me. But we did get the waffle cone done. I think that looks pretty good on his face. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really into it. I think it's a good look for him. I did some highlighting with the different pinks to get those striations kind of going on his back legs, and I think I'm gonna bring that into his front legs as well. I'm not gonna do the underside of his tail, because that's a bit too much, but I think we've got the feathers with the tonality that I want as well. Which means we gotta work a little bit on this orc, kind of cleaning him up, cleaning up the little areas on, like, his chair and stuff, and then we gotta do the zebra stripes on the fabric. But then we'll be ready to hit the wash stage, which is, terrifying, frankly. The waffle horns are really well executed. Thank you. Thank you, Keegan. I appreciate that. Waffle cone is definitely one of those things that I struggled to paint when I was starting out. And I would often just kind of avoid doing it, but I really liked how it looked. So I started just by doing the axe heads on, like, 40k orcs, because those are pretty, they're pretty, easy. They're like a nice flat surface to get it on, and then I just worked up to more complex ones. You thought about doing a red magenta recess shade on the pink feathers. They would add a ton of contrast. Yeah. Everything's gonna get a wash, eventually. I'm not sure what colors I'm gonna use, and I'm scared of how it's gonna turn out. I don't know if I'm just gonna go for my tried and true Seraphim Sepia, or if I'm gonna try, something to, like, color coordinate with the areas that have colors that I think would look good. You know what I mean. I'm not saying it very smart, but you get what I'm trying to communicate there. And I haven't decided yet. So, yeah. This is like... I mean, I did finish painting the zebra cake crocodile guy that I was working on a few days ago. And he's large, but this is the first actual centerpiece model that I will be finishing. So I've never done a mini that was this big before. And I did say that he was one of the things that I wanted to finish. Like, he was the first mini that I wanted to paint after moving into my new house. And he can officially be the first one I finish. I just have to make sure that I finish his base before I finish my Zebra Lad's base. So I'll have kept to that goal. It's really satisfying to accomplish goals like this. See how far you can push yourself on something. Because, I mean, I know this paint job might not be amazing to some people, but this is me trying to do the very, very best that I can on a model that I care a lot about. Like, this is my favorite sculpt that GW's ever made. I love this model more than any of the other models that I've seen. Something about an elderly orc riding a vulture, I just love it. I love every part of that. It speaks to what society these orcs have that the orcs should have, that sustain their elderly and put them in positions of power and respect. GW didn't bother to write that lore because they're like orcs bad and stinky. So, you know. But I think the model speaks to the orcs having a culture where that is possible, which is interesting. I love the design of the vulture. I love the design of the orc. I think it's fun that he has a little goblin buddy with a screaming mandrake, and the mandrake has in-game powers. Like, I love all of this. I think it's really cool. Your most stupid thing you did as a kid was spraying yourself with pepper spray. Can got a nice snake jaw on it, and I wanted to know what it was. You found out that day. You found out. Oh, you poor thing. That's a bad way to learn a lesson. Think I'll be alright. Worst case scenario, I can just paint over it with the base color. Yeah, probably. Your sister loves demonettes, so you're going to convert up a Slanesh demon prince so you can have a big dude to put on the table. 4 arms and claws and all. Cool. I think if you're an orc and you actually live to be old, you're probably one tough bastard. Well, I think he's a clever guy. Like, he's got magic powers, so, you know, he's doing something right. And I get the model, like, the official one, he's named Gobsprack, and he's, like, working to manipulate Kragnos. But I don't want a Kragnos in my army, I don't think. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll get Kragnos someday, but he's expensive, and to be honest with you, he's got an angry face, and I don't like it that much. He's not a bad model, he's just not my aesthetic. So I'm not really, like, eager super to get my hands on Kragnos, and he costs 750 points to put in game, so I don't know what the fuck army I would use him for, ever. Like, that's a whole lot of points to put into one model, and then if he dies, it's like, welp, he's dead now. That's a third of my army that you've killed. Thanks for that, guys. I don't like putting all of my orcs in one basket, so to speak. So I don't know if Kragnos is ever one I'll pick up, but yeah. This one I really like. He's good. And I named mine in this guy's name for me, because you will notice that he doesn't have the flags that are typical of a Mouth of Mork, nor does he have the standard vulture head, or, you know, the armored orc that would be for the other guy. So he's a combination. He's a kit bash using only parts from the kit, but in the wrong... You know, he's all GW plastic in the end, so it's not like he's going to be denied at a tournament. I just made some aesthetic choices, but, his name is Slime Rankle, which I think is just a great orc name. Slime Rankle the Terrible. And he is... he's definitely some kind of soothsayer for my orcs. Gets visions, and people just believe him. And he's probably a little sneaky to get to the top of an orc army, but he's a good guy. He leads his tribe. He does alright. You think if you're an orc and okay, push the limits. No limits. Top dog, biggest orc rules. Yeah, you know. My army is Kragnos. Yeah, if you're putting Kragnos in, like, that's just what you're up against. I'm sure someone at the tournament I'm going to be going to is gonna run Kragnos. Like, there's no way I'm not gonna see a Kragnos or two, but I don't know how to fight Kragnos. I don't know how to deal with Kragnos, so we're gonna say our little orc prayers that day. Maybe not get our teeth kicked in, but we'll see. We'll see. War banners could be the standard orc skull, but it's licking an ice cream. I like that. That's a good idea. Imperial and Chaos Knights, when they see a player, sad when they lose a model that costs a third of their army, and that's weird. Yeah. I like how orcs got the parrot, like, gremlin on their shoulders. Yeah. Yeah. Imperial Knights would be fun to paint. Yes, correct. I would love to paint. Those are like the big mech guys for Space Marines and all. And I think AdMech can run them too, if I'm not mistaken. I'd love to paint one of those someday. I think that would be a fun painting project that's just a little bit outside of my typical go-to for painting. Now this guy, he's definitely gonna get some Seraphim Sepia on him. Like, that is my standard wash for orcs, so he's gonna be getting that as well. No way out of Seraphim Sepia if you're one of my crew boys. So I already know what wash he'll be getting, and that's going to be going all over his flesh bits and his skull and everything. It's all going to be toned with Seraphim Sepia. So that's why I might just kind of bite the bullet and do the whole thing with that, because then it'll kind of, the tone will be really consistent throughout, which is probably a good thing to have. I want to see if maybe, because he's got like his little eyes open, and I think making them like a lilac would be cool if I could get the detail in and actually make that happen. I feel like I should do that after I put the wash on the model, though, and not before. I'm not really great at painting faces. I've not quite grown the dexterity that I would like in that arena yet, but I'd like to get there. I would. Stardies for the win. Hey, you know, everybody has their thing. I'm not a Space Marine fan, so it's unlikely you're gonna see any Astartes on this channel, but, you know. Dominus Diabetes. That's a name for a character, for sure. That's a good one. Lollipop flags would have been cool. I would have accepted that. I just didn't like the banners. I don't think I'm gonna add anything to, like, replace the banners. I think he looks fine without them. Not, you know. Wish green stuff had an instant set spray like super glue. You want to finish your jump captain already? That's fair. It's fair. Trust me, if I were better at making pieces out of resin, I would love to have all kinds of little candies. What I really, really want and wish that I could make is eeny weeny gummy worms. I would love to just cover, because I run Skullbugs, which is not the best sub-faction at all. It doesn't have a great ability, and people don't think it's as good as the others. And those people are correct. Strategically, it's subpar, but I just like the lore for it, so I'm like, there's no way that I'm not gonna run Skullbugs. They're cool. Could be why I've been losing games, but that's fine. I'll just stay true to my little orky self and lose a bunch of games, but you know, I'll have gotten to play the army that I want with the rules that I want, so who's really losing there? Still me. But yeah, their whole thing is that they, like, hang out with bugs in the swamp, and I'd love to be able to emulate that by putting little tiny gummy worms on the base, but haven't been able to figure out how to make that happen, unfortunately, so that's probably a dream that I'm just not going to be able to realize, because I don't think I'm going to find small enough, like, imitation gummy worms. It's very hard to find candies at the correct scale. I've definitely tried buying, like, miniature candy before, and it usually ends up being just a little bit too big. Most dollhouse type stuff is a little bit too big, unfortunately. It would be great if that wasn't the case, but you win some, you lose some. No one can have everything. And that means sometimes I can't have tiny gummy worms, and that's okay. Victor, that's mostly why. They're just not at the right scale. A lot of the stuff for decorating, like, it ends up being too big, and it doesn't look right. I've certainly tried it before, to get stuff at the right scale, but most of the time, unfortunately, it just doesn't end up looking right, because the scale of it isn't correct. And there's not a whole lot to be done about that. I could try and learn how to make stuff, but it would be complicated, and in the end, I'm not sure the payoff would be worth the time investment, because painting is the part of the hobby that I like, and I'm kind of a subpar sculptor at best. If you don't want to mess around with silicone, casting blue stuff is a great alternative for little details like that. I have not heard of blue stuff. I might have to look into that and see what that's all about. That would be cool. Would not be so confusing to see army with lollipops and candy orcs. Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. None of my opponents have given me crap about it. They're usually just, like, my local escalation league, they're usually just really interested to see, like, when they hear that I get, a new model, they're like, ooh, we want to see what candy you're going to paint this one as, or, hey, have you painted any to look like a cosmic brownie yet, or something like that. So, it's fun. I like that. Candy orcs versus barbecue-themed stormcasts? Yes. Any day. Keegan, if you want to paint up some Grill Dad stormcasts, you just let me know. We should stage a battle. It would be lots of fun. You'd probably win. I've gone up against stormcast before. They seem to have mastered this thing called shooting, and are really good at using it against orcs. I've lost to Stormcast a lot. I'm like, I don't know how Billion Dollar Clown Farm's Tyler Russo is winning Warhammer 40k tournaments with orcs. I'm impressed. I'm glad he's doing it. But I understand none of the strategy behind that, because I lose pretty much every game of 40k I play, because orcs are not great at surviving the shooting phase. That's what I've found out. That's the point. Some cuteness can confuse people, and confusion in the middle of battle is the worst. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Evil Anno, you were supposed to have gone to bed. What are you doing back here? No, go sleep. I'm glad you can recommend me another anime, but you gotta get some rest in for your class, bro. And bye. Yes, good night. You know nothing about Age of Sigmar, but the demon armies sound fun. Summoning more dudes by... Okay, let me tell you, there's a bitch. Not a bitch. Sorry. I got a little heated. There is a player in our community, in my escalation league, who is currently, he's top of the league. I lost a heartbreaker to him last week, so I'm still riled up about it. But he plays Nurgle, and like every, I don't know, like 6 contagion points or something that he earns for just existing. That's also not accurate. I'm just mad at Nurgle. It's very easy, it seems, to get contagion points, and then he gets some, and he just summons demons, like tons of them, just hold the objectives at the back. Just like, yeah, I'm just gonna summon demon, like, screw that. No, I don't like that. Pisses me off. Hate it. I'm not very good at fighting against Nurgle. And Nurgle models scare the cuss out of me. They're just gross, ugly boys. I don't like them. They spook me. That great unclean one is great unsettling. Just, ugh. No. Freaks me out. Can't do it. Not today. But Nurgle is probably going to win our escalation league, and that's a reality that I'm sad to live in. I can't pull back the title at this point. But I can go for best painted, and that's where we're going for. This is gonna be the centerpiece of my completed army. And, you know, no one else is painting their army to look like candy, first of all, so there's that. But there is a level of detail here that I feel like has to be worth at least a passing bit of admiration. Just imagine the psychological impact of you as a commander hearing news from the front line. Candy like orcs or chaos warriors are hugging people. This keeps going for days, and they aren't doing anything bad, but it scares you at your core. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right. Listen, I know it's called Warhammer, but do we have to be at war? Like, can't we just can't we just go to the theater for a night? Like, take the day off battle, see an orc play, maybe drum some instruments, hang out. You know, just normal orc stuff. And I know that they're like, orc society is all built around war, and all they do is war, and all they think about is war. But they also have shields that have their faces on them. And they've got all these little trinkets that they've collected. And they have to have spent time domesticating animals. Like, I'm sorry, but there's no way this vulture is gonna let you ride on its back without some kind of mutual trust. Even though in the book they say it's just fear and intimidation. I don't believe that. I'm sorry. That's not what this model makes me think. Like, why would you give your little vulture a hat if you didn't love it? It just doesn't make sense to me. And it can make sense to other people. That's fine. But it's just my little orcs here, their lore is different. And the world of Warhammer is pretty vast. I think it can accommodate some highly developed orc societies here and there. That's all I'm saying. You wish Sisters of Battle were as diverse as Space Marines. They'd satisfy a lot of people. 2000s goth-themed sisters. Yes, I agree. I wish there was more for Sisters of Battle. I do like the newer models they put out at the previous, like, Warhammer showcase thing that they did, where they had, like, the cool helmets and the shields and the halberds and stuff like that. That was really cool. Orcs are mayhem-oriented. Yeah, they are a destruction faction, so they gotta do some looting and some shooting at some point, but I don't know exactly when or where. Old Hammer was great. Inquisitors and orcs having speeder bike races to impress their Eldar girlfriends. Fair enough. I was never around for the days of Old Hammer, so I can't comment. Sorry. Sounds a bit like Necron reanimation, and it's annoying. Yes, it is a bit like Necron reanimation. And is it annoying? Yes, absolutely. Freaking hate it. Also, there's some way that your, like, guys in battle can just get infected, by Nurgle in the battle, and then at the end of the battle round, he's just like, oh yeah, and they do mortal wounds now, if, to the infected, people, and it fucking sucks. It's just bad. It's not fun. I don't like it. So much string. Am I painting this string very efficiently? No. Am I trying? Yes. That is such a hard spot to reach. Gosh darn it. I was like, do stuff in sub-assemblies. And I'm like, yeah, that's smart. Proceeds to never do that. This is the reason why I should be doing that. When I have to try and actually hit these teeny tiny details. Strings, ropes, embellishments, all that stuff is, it's hard to do when everything's all put together. You are fighting an orc. You are losing, and the orcs grab you and whisper something in your ear. You should call your mom more often. She really misses you. Then the orc lets you go. You are devastated. Exactly. Yep. Nice orc warfare. I like that plan. I'll see how that goes next time I'm at my local gaming store. See if orc guilting you into calling your mom will help me advance in the standings. Let you know how that one goes. How 40k and AO has mixed with orcs. Candy Hammer? I would play Candy Hammer. Yep. That would have been a good channel name. I'm kind of pissed I didn't think of that. Candy Hammer is, it's pretty good. That's good. I like that. You think playing an OP army is cool as long as you actually like that army and aren't just playing it because it's strong? Yes, absolutely. I mean, I'd be playing orcs regardless of where they stood. I think they're just kind of, like, fair. Like, they aren't great and they aren't terrible. They can win if you're smart. I'm not smart, so they don't win. Unfortunately, I'm just not strategic with a lot of the choices that I make. I haven't been playing war games for a really long time, so I don't kind of know all the ins and outs and what's smart and what's not smart, so I learn a lot by losing a lot. You could run AOS as beast snaggers since they don't have any guns. Yes, you could. More DACA. Orcs always want more DACA. I'm actually debating whether I need to add more crossbows, because our final points value for the Escalation League is going to be at 1,500 points. And it kind of sucks, because I need to have 3 battle line units. And my battle line costs 180 points each, which is pretty expensive, comparative, and you only have 1 battle line choice if you're running solely Cruel Boys, so I'm gonna be probably severely undercosted for the final fight, which isn't ideal, unless I switch stuff around, because I can't actually afford to just go buy more Hobgrots. Kind of out of war money at this point, so that's fine. I'll just not have the best list, and that's okay. I don't have to be the best. I'm just role-playing as the orc general. Some days. I like to think so. I think there's a little bit of orc in me. Not a lot. I'm not a violent person, but maybe just a little bit. Just a little bit of orc. Sisters of Battle were near your Dark Elder in the store back in 2003. Fair enough. I could see them being friends. Have you thought about building some terrain themed around your dudes? Soda Swamp battle map sounds sick. Yes, as a matter of fact, I have. I would very much like to build kind of, I'm not sure if I want to build their swamp and kind of have that be the scene of battle, because I'd be sad if their village got super destroyed. Yes, I would actually be sad if my fake plastic orcs fake village, which does not exist in real life and is completely unrealistic, was destroyed in a fake battle by other fake plastic soldiers. But I've definitely thought about making a candy battle arena. I'd love to do that. I think it would be really fun. I know several years ago, like when I was a kid years ago, arts and crafts stores were selling like clay gingerbread houses that you could decorate with clay candy. And maybe making a gingerbread village would kind of be the way to go. I'm not super psyched about how it would have to be gingerbread, because I'm not sure that it would have the right kind of medieval-y look that I would need to go for. So I might find some sort of castles and try and paint them up like they're gingerbread. But I'm not sure. But it's definitely in the realm of something I would like to do. When I lived at the old place, I didn't have enough room. But now that I own my house and I'm the only one here, I can kind of do whatever I want in terms of using the space. So I definitely have the room to set up a gaming table and make whatever kind of gaming terrain that I'd want. So candy terrain would be really fun. I would love to see that happen, frankly. Orc generals, charge! Question mark. We all have an orc part of our brain? I think so. I think so. Indeed, we do lack the inner peace that the orcs have in their minds. The fact that they just have their little purpose and they know what they're doing. I envy that. I would love to know what I'm doing. I often feel pretty darn aimless in the things I try and achieve, so having some direction, I wouldn't say no to it. Forget what channel it was, but they used a Playmobil Coliseum toy as the base for a Warcry arena. Could be an easy way to start that off. That's not a half bad idea. I'll have to look into like what Lego prices are like right now and see if that's something I want to do. It's okay if you get even one kill. Oh, kill death of like 0.00. I used to be kind of like that, but I do okay at matches. Like, I'm not great, but I certainly kill my enemies' models. Like, if I lose a game nowadays, it comes down pretty tooth and nail. So I'm getting more competitive. I'm getting smarter about the choices that I'm making in games of Warhammer. I think that's all going to be completely blown out of the water where I sort of expand my horizons and have to play people who have been playing this game for years and years and years, but I continue to try and challenge the people that are highest up in my league so I can learn from the people who are currently doing the best. And getting my butt handed to me a million times by these people is definitely helping me realize what mistakes I'm making in game and how to do better next time. It's essentially just fighting the same boss in a video game over and over and over again, and then being like, ah, shit, I keep forgetting I have a block button. You know, that's the closest analogy that I can give you. Lego would be way too expensive, I think. Yeah, unfortunately. It's why stuff like 3D printing is so appealing, because for terrain, I mean, that's just gotta be great, right? Instant terrain, pretty much. Even if it's an FDM one, it's still quick. It's still, you know, faster than it would take you to sculpt it or make it by hand or whatever, especially if you are like me and have no sculpting skills to speak of. It's appealing. I'm not going to buy a 3D printer because I just don't think I'm going to learn how to use it to the point where it becomes worth it for me to have one, but I understand why people get into them. I think it's certainly become a big part of some people's hobbies, and it's pretty cool to see. Oh, your sister and you have little armies that play each other? She's got Harlequins and you're Chaos? That's cool. That's cool. Someone stole your Hellions back in 2003? That sucks. That's so rude of them. How dare they? How dare they? Alright, guys. Well, I think... No, Nope, I lied. I was gonna say I think we finished the base coat, but I need to put some little details on this guy. I need to paint his ears darker. I need to put some little teeny leopard spots on him. We got a couple details we gotta fill in. And then we have to make some big choices about washes, which I'm frankly a little scared to do. So I'm gonna... That's not the right color of brown. But it wiped off to be the right color of brown. Where's my Scrag brown? This is the one that I wanted. Nobody watch me make mistakes. Don't look at me. I know I'm streaming, but God, embarrassing. Opening the wrong pot of paint and not even double checking. Rookie mistake, Fives. Rookie mistake. We're going to repaint that in the correct color. And you're going to pretend that you didn't see anything. Certainly not going to call me out on it. So that would just be rude. A friend got all his Drukhari Wargaming armies and Gundams stolen from his house? What kind of monster would do that? That's so rude. I would cry. I just sob. I don't know how I would process that. Luckily, I don't think anyone would want to steal my army because it's such a dumb color scheme for most people anyway. I don't think candy orcs are really high up on the resell list. And most of my, like, the things that I've assembled personally, I did not do a great job at. So anyone who would be buying these to resell, would find it a tough time. I don't think there's a customer that is really looking for, this. That isn't me. Maybe there is. If there is, I want to meet that person and be like, yes, please look at these candy orcs and enjoy them. You deserve a good life. You got some model parts, you don't know where you got them, play with random people a bit too much and cared 0 cents about your army back then. That's fair. That's fair. I haven't had anything stolen, fortunately. I've almost left a goblin behind several times, because sometimes a hobgrot will get knocked onto the ground, and I won't notice, and then I'll be packing up my stuff, and I'll be like, ah, look at that, you almost got away, and I'll see him on the ground then. But yeah, it's happened before. Idea for a color scheme. Caramel dance color scheme. I can definitely see caramel as a color scheme. I don't know where the dancing would come in. I think maybe something isn't translating quite right. I'm not sure what that is. And each time you pull out that army, you reproduce the caramel dance song on loop until I don't know what the caramel dance song is, my friend. I'm so sorry. I'm missing the reference here. The song I do have stuck in my head, I hate to confess this to you all, but I've been on TikTok quite a bit because, you know, I need something on my breaks at work to relieve some stress, and that's pretty instant, just watching people make videos about everything. But gosh, everybody is into Five Nights at Freddy's. And I was kind of like, you know, you get into TikTok and there's audios, and you don't necessarily look up where the song is from. And everybody was using this one audio, and then the next thing I know, it's like, oh, it's just from the new Five Nights at Freddy's game. Like, why does this gotta be such a banger? I've not listened to the whole song, but I have the little snippet from all the TikTok videos stuck in my head, playing over and over again. Did not expect that to happen. Did not have that on my 2022 bingo card. Caramel dancing, yeah, sorry, that's not helping. I think I just don't know what it is you guys are talking about. Genuinely. Right now I'm just putting some leopard spots on my orc. I don't know why I decided to do leopard spots as just an additional texture on these orcs that already have so much texture going on. And most of the time after the wash it hardly shows up anyway. But I would feel like I was kind of not doing an accurate job of painting my Crew Boys scheme if I didn't add these, so he's getting them too. Just like every other boy, everybody gets leopard spots. This is not inspired by any candy. This is because, I always thought those like, leopard print dragons in Spyro were just the coolest thing ever from the desert level. Your Drukhari army is like 80% intact from 2002. Lost a few ships and warriors, but Hellions hurted the most. I'm sorry you lost them. That's so sad. They would need to do work. No thief looking for easy money want that, yeah. Impressive considering that Drukhari have pointy bits on there. Yep. Old Hellions were badass. You like the new Talos kit? Lots of cool bits. Is that the new one that they just dropped today, or is that one of the ones that came out recently? I don't know Talos off the top of my head what model that is, so trying to remember. It's elves, and I'm an orc player. You can't be mad at me for not remembering all of the important elves in this world. I do my best. I have been enjoying how many, like, underappreciated factions seem to be getting some refreshes. It was really nice to see that Eldar are getting some love. I hope that Tyranids get some soon, too. I think that a lot of their models are fairly old, so they could do with an update, I think. You know? The world could benefit from some newer Tyranids. He's the big hunchback guy that... Oh! He's scary, Keegan! No! He freaks me out. I don't like him. Talos is scary. He can go away. No. I don't like him. He's spooky. Hive Tyrant. Yeah, no. He's a spooky model. I'm not a fan. It's completely valid if you like this model. He's just not for me, you know? That's fine. Everybody can like what they like. Like the models that you like. I will try not to judge you. Nurgle I don't understand, frankly. I just don't get it, but that's okay. You think it sucks to get new models? I mean, I can't really speak to that. I'm here painting what is literally, like, one of the latest releases in terms of Games Workshop. Like, this is pretty new, so I don't think I've got any room to talk about, new models being bad. When you haven't been in the game since Oldhammer, you're kind of like, well, if I want an army, I gotta kind of buy what exists. Like, I definitely didn't know about the secondhand market or Oldhammer or stuff like that when I first got into it. And considering Cruel Boys are just kind of a new thing that they invented, it feels like a pretty safe jumping in place for me to be in Age of Sigmar. There aren't really Oldhammer Cruel Boys, to my knowledge. They kind of made them up. These are just here now. And some people don't like that. People like me, where I'm like, I don't want to have 400 years of baggage for me to accommodate for, essentially, and know about and know which models used to look like what. It's very appealing as a faction to just be like, yep, these are the guys. These are the boys. They work. Alright, I think I'm ready to say that it is time for the washes. I think I've got everything about as detailed as I can make it, in my limited, capable goblin hands. So in terms of washes, I have some contrast paints that I could dilute, and I have my good old faithful Seraphim Sepia that I'm comfortable with and know how to use, and know that it will, at the very least, make my orc look good. Let me just double check my painting guide for Cruel Boys that we painted a Hattie Fattener on the other night from the Moomins. Got all that. Yeah. I could chip the metal with some silver if I wanted to. kind of weather that a bit. I don't know that I'm going to. I don't think it ends up showing up too good because I do a dry brush afterwards, so I think it's kind of a moot step. One that I should probably just edit out of my Cruel Boys painting process, but I'm scared. I'm scared to give him a wash. I don't know how that's going to turn out. Some of the grognards at your local game store still swear by 5th edition. What can you do? It's just the way. eBay, yep, certainly eBay has some old customs, but like when you're first getting into the hobby, you don't really like think to look up old hammer or anything like that. Imagine keeping your face when the new Gene Stealer Colt model arrived. Its rules were kind of real lame. No, I'm not going to read homunculi lore, jamming haze, no. Nope. Nuh-uh. I watched some lore about that one time, and that was good enough for me. I'm not going back to that. Nope. Absolutely not. Absolutely fucking not. Nope. Not at all. We don't need homunculi up in here to terrorize me. That's not... It's not fun. Not fun at all. My other problem is all of my good brushes for applying wash are very, very dead. I need to get some new cheapo brushes, because, like, nothing that I have isn't super crusty and old. And I'm gonna look through, like, every brush that I own. And I have, like, some dry brushes that have gotten kind of crusty because I don't clean them very well. Tons of dry brushes that have gotten crusty. And, like, nice brushes. I need to get some brush cleaner and try and bring these back to life or something. Maybe that's soft still and is bigger than the brushes that I've been using. We found the one soft brush remaining that's bigger than the brush that I was using. We have this one, which is definitely, this is a dry brush, supposed to be. Maybe we should save that and actually use it as a dry brush. This is the brush I usually use to apply washes, but you can see it is, he's gotten crispy. That's a crispy, like, you can hear it. That brush is crusty. How did I do this to a poor brush? Am I gonna still try it to use wash because the tips of the bristles are soft? I think I probably am. We're going to see if we can bring this back to life. A little bit of water, kind of working it in there. Seeing if we can get any life back into this brush. Feels not great, if I'm honest. But if I'm going to wash the entire thing with Seraphim Sepia, which is the move I'm kind of looking to make here, it doesn't matter too much if it's not consistent. I'm just scared to mess it up, guys. If I'm honest, worked really hard on this. It's the hardest I've worked on any model ever. With all this detail, and I'm afraid, legitimately afraid to apply wash and see what happens. Master Blush Cleaner, you swear by it? I'll have to pick some of that up. Weird Boys are epic too. Yes, Jam and Haze. I have the best Weird Boy conversion that I did. I made him a little chef standing on some pancakes and wearing a little hat, a little chef's hat. He's very cute. He has a whisk, a giant whisk for a weapon. All right. Everybody hold your breath. We're going in. We're getting the wash. We're just gonna do it. We're just gonna start applying it to everything on this model. I am very scared, but you're here for me. I'm here to entertain tonight. So I'm gonna bitch and moan and whine and worry. Today's just a day full of anxiety. Job was full of anxiety. Painting is now full of anxiety. So I hope that the colors won't change too dramatically under the power of this wash. I still want it to look like candy in the end. That doesn't look too bad, right? You'd believe that was candy. You'd believe that was candy. Right? That's not bad. It's just giving it kind of like a vintage tint. Right? Somebody say right. Somebody confirm what I'm thinking and just say right so I can feel good about what I'm doing. I don't care which one of you says it. I just need a positive affirmation up in here. So that I can feel like I am doing this correctly. It's going to take a while to get everything covered in wash. Really. I mean, people are like, oh, if the wash pools do this. And I'm just like, yeah, I just kind of slop that wash on there. It's not a very precise process, but it's an honest one. It's an honest one. Right, good. Victor, I appreciate it. You said right. Gold star for you. It doesn't get you anything, but it makes me very happy. If I could post a little gold star emoji in the chat, I would do it. You would get a gold star. I don't know how to do that. And also wash a mini at the same time. I'm sure there's a way to put a star in the chat. That is probably not too difficult. I'll get there eventually, maybe, someday. Little emojis and things. But our boy Slime Rankle here he's getting his wash. He's taking his little bath in barbecue sauce. And so is his Vulture. And I'm not going to cry or stress about this at all. You see me, guys. I am not crying, not stressing. Painting a candy bird and his rider. And it's not stressing me out at all. And I'm having a good time. I'm not gonna worry about it or cry about it in the least. No tears on the channel today. Looks like candy now, but old, kinda, not brand new. Yep, that's what we're going for. We like it weathered, because I think it kinda, it gives it that old-timey vibe. Which, you know, should be relevant with the kind of specific lollipops from Willy Wonka that I was using as inspiration. And also the fact that they're like swamp orcs and everything would be like a little bit weathered, do you think? It's making the waffle cone horns look really good. That looks fantastic. Absolutely stunning. Gorgeous. 10 out of 10. Really proud of myself for making the choice to paint that. Because that looks good. That looks good. The tail? I'm here for the tail. It's looking good. It's looking good. I'm gaining some confidence, lads. I'm gaining some confidence. I'm gonna get wash all over everything. Probably the pajama pants that I'm wearing. Definitely my fingers and hands. It's not a beautiful process. And if I miss any spots, like when I'm like, oh, I'm done, and you notice that something is strikingly unwashed, I'm counting on you guys to shout it out and be like, hey, Fives! Hey, Fives, you forgot to do that part. Go back and do that. You did it bad. You did it dumb. You guys get to be my second opinion. So, don't let me down now. But, gonna just keep going, painting this. Painting bravely, as Goobertown would say. So many feathers, too much detailing. Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of feathers. We're gonna do the wings. Hopefully it'll be satisfying and look cool and not look like crap. Here we're gonna... Whew! Oh, yeah. Oh, that makes the wings look so much better. Look at that. Look at all the detail that brings out. Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Here for it. 100,000,000%. Look at how much better those feathers look. That's amazing. Brilliant. Unmistakable. That's iconic. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm way... Like, look at the wing with the wash compared to the wing without. There's no comparison whatsoever. One of those is just correct, and the other one is waiting to be finished. Trying to hit everything that I can, that I see, that needs wash. Don't want to forget anything. It's the worst when you forget something. But yeah, these wings, taking wash phenomenally. Hopefully they'll take dry brushing like the same level of... Ugh. That's so satisfying! I don't know how well it's showing up on camera, but like the little feathers just get all nice and separated out. And since I bothered painting them different colors, it's just... It's so good. It looks so clean. Even the stripes look better. Adding glazed medium to the wash mix. Small tip, less pooling. Yeah, I don't have any glazed medium right now, so I can't do that. But that is probably a good idea for the future. For the me who buys products next, to pick some of that up. I'll keep that on the old list of supplies that I should probably pick up. Those wings look good, though. Those wings look good, though! This is our boy! Look at it! He's getting painted! I'm very excited. I'm sorry. I know I sound like a loon, but I can't help it. I have been painting this guy for like 15 hours, and to watch him kind of come to life is very, very exciting. Very exciting. You love his attitude? Yeah. Goobertown is how you found my channel? That's cool. That's very cool. Brent is fantastic, and his Patreon community is honestly a very encouraging and positive place in the hobby sphere. And I joined that, and I've made a lot of really great hobby friends through it, so I only have lovely positive things to say about Goobertown. Brent has... We've talked a couple of times, and he's a very kind person, so very happy. If he's recommended my channel to you in any way, that's quite amazing. I'm so pleased to hear about that. What a lovely way for you to have found me. Goobertown is wholesome as hell. I love that channel. Goobertown got you here too? Did everybody come here from Goobertown? I don't know how that happened, but I'm glad that it did. I'm very, very pleased that it did. I'm trying to remember if he ever mentioned me in one of his videos, and I don't recall it off the top of my head, which makes me feel crappy that I don't remember. But I'll definitely have to give Brent some thank yous, because he's, if he's sending folks like you over here to watch his stream, watch my stream, then he's being extremely nice, and I appreciate it so much. You found this channel because you liked my cartoon avatar? Really? That was what drew you here. That's really cool. I do actually have some merch with my cartoon avatar on it. The little alien on there, his name is Starboy. I've been drawing him since college. And I think, honestly, that character is part of my journey to non-binary. Just super pleased to hear. I think my connection went down for a second there. Are we back? Sorry about that. Can everybody hear me again? I'm sorry I lost you. Same thing happens to you when you finish a mini, you stare at it for an hour? Yep, absolutely. I understand. You want the spinning surface thingy now. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Kind of curious, though. You would buy merch, but you live in a third world country? Well, you know, obviously don't buy merch if your situation doesn't allow you to. That's completely understandable. I really enjoy the fact that you found this channel through a piece of art that I had drawn that I also really liked. And I've always wanted to, like, put my little guy on stuff because I thought he was cool and other people would think he was cool just as a character. To know someone else thinks he's cool just as a character, that's really fulfilling, honestly. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. Plus, yeah, everywhere is expensive, especially nowadays with the shipping costs to places. Like, whoo boy, it's insane what it costs to get anything anywhere. And then, you know, if you don't make a lot of money or you live in a place that doesn't have a strong economic system in place or anything, like, that's a whole other level to inaccessibility for things that's just unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear about that, but appreciate that you liked my design. That really does mean the world to me. I know it's cheesy to, like, say that and shit, and people are like, it can't possibly mean the world to you, but as an artist who never really felt like they found their space in art school, which I paid to go to and stuff, it's nice to know that any of my art has found any audience anywhere, because I definitely didn't feel like I had found it and I wasn't making what people wanted while I was at art school. So it's nice to know that somewhere out there are people who like the things that I make. It feels very good. Let's see. You have the money but not for the shipping? Yeah. Hopefully shipping prices go down someday, you know? It can't last forever. Someday we'll have reasonable shipping rates again. And I know, because I have a big secret project coming up for the channel that I can't give you any details about, but it may have involved me shipping some models out to other people. And let's just say the bill to ship those things was a little bit higher than maybe I would have preferred or expected. Oh god, look at that. Look at all of that wash. Oh dear. Hey, PJ, good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Brent is also a chemist, so that makes him smart too. Yes, he has the degrees, and probably is smart enough to not somehow get wash all over his hands when painting a model. After my wash dries, do I go back with your base color and do highlights, or just leave it as is? Okay. It depends. I like to see how the wash dries. For my orcs, for his actual skin, I will go back and I will add highlights in this moon dust color, because I want him to read as yellow in the end, and not orange. And currently, he's reading very orange, because that's sort of what the base color gives him and stuff like that. But in the end, he needs to read as yellow. So he gets highlights. The armor gets a dry brush, and if I feel like the color is kind of too lost, then it will also get some highlights. And anything else that I think would really benefit from it. Like sometimes the fabric will look too flat, so I'll go in and add a couple of highlights in yellow. Typically, I don't do anything very intensive. You won't see any of my projects completely edge highlighted to hell and back. I just don't have the patience for it. It's not who I am as an artist to do that. It's not, I guess, saying it's not what I don't have the patience for it is the wrong thing to say. It's not where I like to spend my time, is probably the better way of putting it. It's not where I like to spend my time in the hobby. But some things, especially on a big model like this, I will probably go back and highlight stuff. I'm not sure what yet. I really want to wait and see how everything dries so I can kind of pick and choose what I think would benefit from some highlights. Like, this log should probably get a wash as well, because I'm gonna do more to it, and that's gonna be a factor on the base. But I'm just kind of picking and seeing if anything didn't get enough wash, if anything got too much, trying to wick it away from the tips of these feathers so they don't darken too much, but that's a losing battle, so we'll probably have to add in a bit more of that tan color at the edge of the feathers. Maybe I can try and soak it up with a paper towel. We'll see if that works. Someone liking something that you made, a complete stranger. It is. It really is, because I'm like, you don't have any ulterior motive to liking this. Like, if your friends or family like it, it's like, great. You know, it's nice that they do, but they don't want to hurt my feelings or anything like that. So, of course they're going to say that they like it. But when people on the internet who have no reason to be nice to you, like, it doesn't benefit you guys to be nice to me. You're not getting anything out of being a nice person or liking my art. There's no benefit to you, essentially. And you're not doing it out of social obligation. That's really cool. It's really fulfilling. Use any paint medium, display stand that spin. Oh, I would love to have a spinning display stand. That would be really cool. I'd like that. No, I don't use any paint medium. You'll see me taking the paint right from the pots. I don't even thin it. A heathen like that, so yeah. I'm trying to keep my table from, you know, having a ton of paint on it, but again, it's another losing battle, really. There's not a whole lot else I can do with... I need to finish painting that log, I said, so I'll do that. But then I'll have to paint something else for a little while because he needs to have enough time for the wash to dry. Nice. You guys are speaking Italian together, so that's cool. I can't say much in Italian. Can you get a close-up on the mini? Absolutely. Give me a second to finish painting the log so I don't forget. And then I'll do some close-ups for sure. Sorry, I need to catch up on the chat, but I was really focused on making sure I got the wash all over. So give me a couple seconds there. I'm gonna paint this log and continue reading and catching up. Oh, great. The pizza with pineapple discussion has come back. My food crimes. I love pizza with pineapple on it. Edge highlights are hard to do. Really good for commanders and leaders. Sure. Absolutely. I think models that have edge highlights look fantastic. But I haven't gotten to that level of brush control yet. It's something I try to do, but I'm not confident with my abilities on it yet, where I'm like, all right, you know, this model is gonna have every edge highlighted. Like, that's something that I feel like I can confidently achieve. It's definitely a technique I'm trying and working on improving at, though. Still chonky for now. You're more concerned about the difference between gelato and ice cream? Yeah, that's a good debate to get into. They are different, absolutely. The way gelato and the way ice cream are made are different. Various dairy products, which are similar but not the same. Do I know the difference? Maybe. I've been watching a lot of cooking shows. That's like my guilty pleasure kind of show. I love shows about cooking. They just calm me down. You hate living a lie. Everyone needs some super glue between a finger. It teaches you a lesson. I've certainly gotten super glue everywhere before. That's happened. No benefit in the belief of being in a nice world. Yeah. Cookie Zote was probably your favorite. It sucks that Zotes are so expensive because you wanted to paint some of your own, but 90s booger and fart theme. Okay. That's a theme. I personally also love my Cookie Zote. I think he turned out really good, and I wish they would make more Zotes so that I could paint more Zotes. I was watching Book of Boba Fett, right? And the first episode, this Zote creature comes out of the sand. I'm like, that's a Star Wars Zote, man. I don't know what it actually is, but it's a fucking Zote. I was so hype. Does ice cream contain cream? Yes. I think, yeah, being nice can be beneficial. I like to think what goes around comes around. Alright, so you asked for some close-ups on the Mini. We're gonna see how my camera behaves. Again, please note that I am using my phone. I'm doing the best that I can. Oh, okay. There we go. So we are getting the close-ups in. That's his face. It's gonna be better when he's highlighted, but that's it with the wash. Going in, getting the feathers, getting the checkers, the waffle cone. That's his face. Going in, you can see some of his leggies. The underside of the feathers. I'm gonna tilt this just slightly. Hang in there. This is the best quality that I've gotten. So those are the stripes on the feathers. This is his face. Getting that there. I'm gonna do the back side of the feathers. You can see all of the painted stripy details. I got like some texture up in the top part. More of the checkers on the back. Little goblin buddy. Got the symbol. Got some of that. Try and get some of the excess wash put away there. Back feathers. Symbol again. All of his little trinkets and stuff. Checkers, feathers. Well, they're basically the same feathers, but this is just the other side. And I'll pull back. I'll have him spun around. Yeah. And then that's him. This is the Mini. There you go. There was your close-up shots. That's what he is getting close to looking like on the table. The color isn't exactly right. It's kind of brighter on the screen, kind of duller in person, but you know, close enough. You did not miss any Moomin talk, actually. We have not talked about the Moomins. Josh, I would like you to confirm. You were the one who recommended Archive 81 to me, correct? I need you to confirm that. What you have missed, we have talked about Gundams. Someone complimented my logo and said that's the reason why they watched this channel, and I had an emotional moment about it. I have bitched about having a slightly crappy day at work, and we have gotten to the point where we put the wash on this miniature, and somebody asked me for close-ups, so we just went in for close-ups. I also talked about how Book of Boba Fett has a totally not copyright Warhammer Zote in it, and I got really excited about that. But that's it. That's all we've done, I think. Oh shit, we've been here for 2.5 hours. God damn. Okay. Alright, Vulture is gonna sit there. You know what? He's not gonna sit there and dry. He needs to be in a secure location. So I'm gonna shift some paint, because my cats will hop up there and try and kill him. Where can I put you that won't be a danger to society? Let's see. Alright. Confirmed. Okay, you haven't seen Book of Boba Fett. Well, I'm sorry. I did give you a mild spoiler, because there is a creature that does look like a Zote. It's very cool. It's probably the coolest part, honestly. So I spoiled the best part. But, you know. You can't blame me. I'm a Zote enthusiast, okay? Zote's gonna Zote. I'm gonna put him back over in that corner, I think. Cleared out that corner. We can do some simple base coating on other orcs while we wait for them to dry, because I'm not quite done hanging out with you guys. I'm having a good time. And I don't want to go to bed yet, because that means I have to get ready for work tomorrow, and I'm not ready to face that reality. Okay, Archive 81. Let's talk about it. So, Archive 81. Did like some things, didn't like some things. I did like that at no point did it make me feel, despite the similarity in the title, like I was watching the Magnus Archives, the series. Like, I didn't get that vibe at all, so I was very appreciative, because I was kind of worried about that going in, just having another podcast that I like with a similar title. So that was good. Also enjoyed the fact that, like, they got this film restorer to be the protagonist. I thought that was an interesting angle to come from. realized that if any of my friends watched that show, they would call me out as being one of only 2 people in the world who would buy random VHS tapes off the street. So that was kind of funny. I do feel like the special effect that he found in the tape was kind of lame. I was like, okay. And I don't know that I'm fully invested in, like, the investigative journalist's, like, whole premise, her whole idea of, like, okay, I need to investigate this specific area for activity. Like, I don't know if I'm quite on board. I think it's cool, though. I'm definitely gonna watch episode 2. Hector had strong opinions on it. He hated it. The sound effects, he would meow at, he would run around the room. He was not a fan. So my review, gonna watch episodes 2. Hector's review is that it was dookie and he doesn't want to watch any more of it. So Keegan, they, not she. I identify non-binary, so my pronouns are they, them. So what they aren't telling you is Book of Boba Fett takes place in the 40K verse, and they reveal it at the end. Okay, thanks for stopping by, PJ. I'm so glad that you stopped by to say hello. I appreciate that. You have a good night and or day where you are as well. Always nice to see you here. Hector is a jerk. He's a harsh film critic. The only thing he's liked recently has been The Witcher, which I don't feel like is worthy of the devotion that he gives it. Like, season 2 was good. Season 1 was kind of okay. But Hector loved it. So, I feel like, no, you're fine, Keegan. I just wanted, there's so few non-binary people in any space. I feel it's important that I speak up on that aspect. Trying to kind of make sure that is something people can find on my channel if they are also non-binary and want some hobby representation. I want to be there for them, because I really would have valued that when I was getting into the Warhammer hobby, seeing some diversity or just people who were even mentioning that casually. So it's something I'm trying to focus on this channel and make sure that it's a nice inclusive space for anybody who is on the LGBTQ plus spectrum. The hobby can be really difficult for those people to get into, myself being one of them. I'm very scared to do that or correct people that I play against, and it's really annoying when my opponents will remember all of their team's spells and abilities, but I have to correct them to they every, 6th second. It can be draining, so at least on my own channel, I'm gonna make sure that we try and get it right. So no worries. No worries. You didn't know, and that's completely okay. Hazardous. Ghetto. Listen, okay? The tap water here doesn't taste good, and I haven't gotten, a Brita filter or anything yet. I just haven't gotten around to buying one. So I've been living that water bottle life and trying to stay hydrated. And I know plastic water bottles are bad for the environment, so I'm trying to reuse them in as many ways as possible, and they make excellent water cups. And it gets a little delayed from going into a landfill because it can sit here for weeks. And then when it gets gross and dusty and full of paint water that I forgot to clean, I just recycle it. And it's fine. Henry Cavill is great. He is from England, but rooting for the Chiefs. Is that a football team? I'm not I'm lost in that reference, Josh. I apologize. Last time you didn't know someone's pronouns, they yelled at you publicly. That's kind of weird that they did that. However, it can be really frustrating when people get your pronouns wrong, and maybe that person was just having a bad day. It happens, you can't judge the entire pronoun experience based off one poor interaction. You shouldn't have been yelled at for that. It's an understandable mistake. Just try and do better next time, that's all. And a really great way is if you are at, like, a hobby store and you're playing a game against someone and you want to make sure that they feel included, no matter who they are or how they identify, there's nothing stopping you from introducing yourself at that table, like, "Hi, my name is Keegan, and my pronouns are he, him. It's nice to meet you," because then they will realize, this person wants to at least make the effort and is comfortable doing so, and is using language that I understand. Because then I would be like, swag, I feel comfortable saying that my pronouns are they, them to this person, and they might actually give a shit. And most of the time, that is all anybody is looking for. Someone who makes the effort and tries to give a shit. Gonna start memorizing people's stats like my Warhammer list. Yes, this is 5 sugar candy miniatures, a 100-point model. They use they, them pronouns. They can unbind one spell if it makes them feel anxious. And after every action, they have to stop and think about their life for 20 minutes. They're not very good. That's why as a Mexican, you have the best non-binary pronoun ever? Way? Is that just way, like, why? Way is a friend, a man, a woman. Way is universal. God, I wish we had the better sounding pronoun in America for that. I know, like, Japan has one. I'm glad Mexico has one. That's cool as hell. Way to represent. Keegan Davis. He, him. Peanut allergy. 5+ invulnerable save. Oh, an American football team. Okay. Yeah. Apparently they weren't a great person to begin with, but I do want people to feel welcome around me. Well, that's good. I'm sorry they weren't a great person. You know, unfortunately, the LGBTQ+ community is, at the end of the day, made up with people, and people are not always great. There are bad people, there are good people, and being non-binary, or gay, or lesbian, or transgender, or anything else has very little to do with whether you are a good person or not. So, you know, you just hope that you meet good people. Are you telling me the LGBTQ community isn't a monolith? Yeah, it's almost like we're diverse as hell. Absolutely. Not all of us are the same. We're all different. Exactly, Jam and Haze. There is no need for fancy cups. We make do with the trash we have lying around. Latino America, you have a lot of nice words for friend. My favorite is pana. This is my pana jamming, for example. Aw, you guys are making friends. Hell yeah. That's what I'm here for. Everybody on this channel make friends with each other. I would be very happy about that. And I'm glad. I'm always happy to see people making friends on my stream, talking with each other. Like, I know, my community isn't very big. Let's be real about that. It's bigger than I ever thought it would be. I thought I'd maybe get 10 followers at most. But I have not had any streams where there was nobody watching, and that's crazy to me. Like, what? How do you guys want to spend your Thursday evening listening to me talk about orcs? That's fantastic. I'm really grateful for all of you, but I'm quite pleased to see you guys talking with each other and caring about pronouns. All that shit is good. I'm trying to make sure that people give a shit about each other. Putting positive vibes out there can make some good shit happen. The world's super dark and scary all of the time. And the main way I deal with the world being dark and scary is by painting. It's how I calm my anxiety. So it's nice to see that I have some nice people to spend my hobby time with. Let's see. All their cultures with their different names for their friends, but me and my buddies just taking turns calling each other awful words. That's fair. Keegan, I have some friends from Ireland, and certainly the dynamic is different with them. I've never had friends that can so easily cut someone down in a second. Like, I have a little beanie that I think is very cute, and it says certified clown on the brim, and it's got like confetti on it, and I was just like, this is weird and kind of cute, and, you know, it works with the whole vibe that I'm curating. But I tell my Irish friend about it, and immediately, without missing a beat, this guy just goes, you know, there was no need to get certified, Fives. We already knew you were a clown. Like, it's always that fast and that devastating, the clapbacks. They're so good at them. It's like they were trained for it. I'm impressed every time he manages to just fire off something that completely catches me off guard, but is absolutely hilarious. But it's a whole different vibe sometimes, depending on your friend group, whether it's like, yeah, we love you, and you're really cool, and you're my friend, and my buddy, and my pal, and it's just like, other friend groups, you're like, yeah, this is our fucking resident idiot, and we tolerate their existence. Have you seen the fancy cups that have Moomin on them? I don't know if you have. I posted them to my Patreon. You can check them out there at patreon.com/sugarcandyminiatures. I also make announcements about when I am streaming. There are pictures of my cat. You get behind the scenes access to what I'm doing. I also will be doing shoutouts on my next video for some of my patrons who have subscribed at that tier. And I promise you that video is coming. It's coming really soon. I'm hoping to have it finished up this weekend. I just have some last shots to get and some video editing to do, and then I'm debating whether or not I want to spend some time making an intro, whether I'm going to do another little stop motion thing or not for the introduction, because I haven't put out a video in a while, and I don't know if it's worth kind of delaying another week to get some stop motion done, or if I should just bite the bullet and, you know, go ahead and post it without the little extra bit, or try and find a different little extra bit to do. I might just kind of do something quick and simpler than what I could have done, so that there's something there to kind of keep the vibe of having fun intros, but also to make some fucking content for people. They've been waiting a while and have been very patient, and I really, really appreciate it. But I also miss seeing, like, you know, I miss getting the comments and putting something new out into the world, and I'm really excited to make this video because I think it's gonna be slightly different. I won't be painting a Warhammer miniature. I'll be painting a different miniature and talking about a slightly serious subject about Dungeons and Dragons. So I'm a little excited to do that and see how something a little bit different will play out on my channel. So we'll see. But it's coming, I promise. Josh Beck. He, him, dude. Yeah, that's fair. Friends tear into you. At least it's coming from a good place. Like they're inoculating you against actual mean people. Could be, sure. Dude has become general neutral for you? Sure. Thank you, Ghost Bear. I'm trying to plug the Patreon every now and again. Is it sounding natural? Did I do it right? Did I self-promote? I hope so. I'm trying. Do that whole streamer thing. Feels a little gross and weird, but, you know, we're gonna try it. I feel like mentioning that I have a Patreon once in almost 3 hours is not horrible. It can't be that bad. The YouTube gods won't come after me and be like, wow, you made shitty content, die. I'm glad you saw them. I'm glad you liked them. I quite like my Moomin cups, so I'm happy to have them. I'm very pleased to have them. Some people say it isn't, but they're annoying and I don't want to hang out with them. I mean, it really depends on the person. If you've lived your entire life having to be called dude and you feel like a woman, or you feel like neither particular gender, and you had a lot of people calling you dude all the time, it can be pretty triggering, honestly, to have that happen. And I know for like people who use dude in their perception, it can be gender neutral. But if you're unwilling to change calling one person in your life dude because it hurts them, and they don't like how it makes them feel when you call them that, just because you think it's gender neutral and they disagree, I mean, maybe reevaluate that a little bit and think about how, how they could take it from their perspective. It's tough enough that they've had to live a lot of their life not feeling like they fit. And honestly, not using one word around one person, you can adapt to that pretty easily. If they're an important person in your life, you may want to consider just rethinking that and not calling that person a dude. It's pretty simple to do. It just takes a little bit of thought and intention, and it can really help someone feel more comfortable in their own skin. I personally don't mind being called dude. I see dude as gender neutral, but I was not assigned male at birth, so I can't tell you how that would feel if that was the case. And it's different for every person, like we established before. The community is not a monolith, and emotions range. But I don't think any of that comes from a place of wanting to hurt someone. So, sometimes it's a little weird to have to consider how using, a word that you have no gender association with, but someone else could hurt them. But it could. And, it's just something to think about. Yeah, if you said you got a trans buddy and you just don't use it around them, that's perfectly fine. I think that's a good idea. If, when in doubt, you can just make the smarter call. Oh, that's very sweet. I appreciate that. I'm sure she appreciates it too. It's really validating to have people just use the correct shit around you. Like, right now, I'm not out at my job. Like, I haven't gone through the whole non-binary thing because I haven't gotten a legal name change or anything like that. And I don't want to have to deal with, if my job is going to be a jerk about it and be like, we don't actually recognize this and we can't do anything about it. I want to have the legal backing to be like, well, this is actually my name, and regardless of the pronouns you decide to use, you do have to call me by my legal name. But being on the phones and having to tell people that, I have the name that I don't have anymore, it's really draining. It's really nice to come online or talk with, like, some of my friends that are online friends who have only ever known me by Fiverr or Fives. Is really sweet. It's really validating just to have people call you by your name, honestly. It feels dumb to say, but it's the truth. Ugh. You have to go. See your next stream. Yep. Come back next time, Victor. We'd be happy to have you. Thank you so much for stopping by and for all your kind words about my logo. It's really, really sweet of you. If you're ever stateside and we ever happen to be at the same con or event, you just let me know who you are, and I'll give you some free stickers or something with my little guy on it. That's on the house for you. More than that, I think people don't want to feel like they're forcing something others, like they're changing the rules on people. They're so afraid of being annoying that they don't bother. Yeah, I'm really afraid to come out at my job just because I don't know how people will react. I just don't know how it's gonna go. And, like, being a customer service person on the phone, having to introduce yourself, I mean, let's be real. Not many people are named Fiverr in this world. So I don't even know how, like, having to say the wrong name to customers, at least it's a typical name that they know how to respond to. If If people are mean to me about my chosen name, I honestly don't know how I'm going to deal with it yet. I haven't reckoned with that emotionally, so I'm not eager to experience that. I don't want to experience any kind of workplace discrimination or stuff like that. It's a whole big scary thing. And yeah, at the end of the day, like, it's also like you then have to inform pretty much everyone that you are non-binary and be like, hey, this is a thing that I am, and this is how I am, and please just accept this aspect of me, and, you know. But, like, then you have to wait for your name to update in systems and changes. It is a hassle. It's very helpful once it's done to, probably to just feel like you know, are okay, but getting there is a process. Throw down at the con like a Yu-Gi-Oh battle? Absolutely. How do I feel like about nicknames like Fives? I mean, I call myself Fives all the time. I love the nickname Fives. I think it's great. I decided that would be an okay nickname when I decided what my new name was going to be. I was like, Fives is also okay. I like having the more formal Fiver and the more casual Fives, because I just like how that is. I've always preferred having like both a formal and informal, so that people who I actually like and give a shit about, I can be like, yes, you may call me by my nickname, but the boss that I have at work, who I don't know and don't care about, may not. Or, like, you know, I just like that degree of separation if I want it. Y'all are cool. As long as you respect my pronouns, anyone on this chat can call me Fives, as far as I'm concerned. And then, when like, Umbrella Academy was first coming out, there's that little character in there who's, like, an angry schoolboy all the time, and he's just number 5. And they call him Five all the time. So I did get a couple Five full stop nicknames when that had just come out. Which I never really got around to figuring out how I felt about, but I didn't hate it. So, nicknames, yeah, I like them. Fives, I think, has a good vibe to it. It's casual, it suits me. I like it a lot. Is there a way to share pics in chat? You want to show off the freaking dude that you are making? I don't know, actually. Maybe you can post a link to it. I'm not sure if, YouTube allows links or not. I have not encountered that situation. I do not know. Ghost Bear says, nope, there is not a way. So I guess nope, there is not. I am thinking of making a Discord server for my patrons. So, in theory, if that happens, I could be sent stuff on Discord to pull up during the thing and show people. You know what? Actually, my Instagram. If you send it to me on Instagram, I can pull it up here and we can take a look at it. My Instagram is, it's linked in the YouTube, but it's also lobster.p.k.m.f Thermidor, which is I have a cat named Lobster Thermidor, who has a bunch of middle names, and I stole that Instagram account from him, and I've not merged it into just being like Sugar Candy Miniatures at Instagram.com. But if you send it to me on Instagram, I can see it. What about a more spice nickname like Cinco? You know what? I don't have anybody who speaks Spanish in my life right now. But if I did have some Spanish speakers who wanted to call me Cinco, I think I would be okay with that. Does that work? If you posted something, I didn't see it. Unfortunately, no links came up, nothing like that. You should get an Instagram, Keegan. Get an Instagram. That way I can see your work and you can share it. And I'd like to see it. And I can do the little thing where I add it to my story and I'm like, look at what one of the people on my YouTube sent me. And people will be like, oh, that's so cool. Look at Fives having fans. Just make an Instagram. It's not that hard. I've never played Yu-Gi-Oh! The only card game I've ever tried to play was Magic the Gathering. And I gotta be honest with you, I don't like it. There's no miniatures. I don't think I like card games because I would never spend the amount of money on a card that I would on a miniature. And a lot of Magic seems like you're just building your deck specifically to mess with someone. I gotta show you this. Okay, hang on. Take a break from painting orcs because my cats are doing something cute and you need to see that. Ugh, that's what people actually come to this channel for. So that's Lobster. He is sitting on the couch right now. That is Hector, who is under the couch. He has been just scratching at the bottom of the couch into the lining like a little mole person. Maybe now he's gonna give Lobster some cuddles or some kisses. He'll be cute. Oh, big yawn. Good boy, Lobster. Yeah, they're just being cute and chilling on the couch. You're being cute, babies. Anyway, sorry. Anytime my cats learn they do something vaguely adorable, I'm legally obligated to showcase that on camera when I'm streaming. Yeah, the mini painting community on Instagram is super positive. Ghost Bear has an Instagram. You can follow him too. And Josh has an Instagram. You can follow him. I don't know, Jamming Haze, do you have an Instagram? Do I follow you on Instagram? If I don't, tell me. I'll follow you. Hardest is Magic the Gathering. Pokemon is easy. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is easier. I know that Pokemon cards sell like fucking hotcakes at my local game store. Because I best not be going there on a day where some Pokemon shit comes out. Because it'll be packed. I don't want to deal with all the fucking... I don't know. I have a hard time with cards. They're a valid part of the hobby. And I'm glad that card collectors have games that they enjoy playing. But I don't fucking get it. Card games and buying them, they're like NFTs to me a little bit. I'm just like, you just paying for a cardboard. You can't paint it. Can't. It's just cardboard. You know? But I think it's probably got more appeal than that. It's just I don't personally understand the appeal. And I don't like Magic, so maybe it's just I haven't found the right card game and I should try out a few others. But I haven't done that yet. So, we'll see. Maybe one day. Steam PC game, you don't need to buy the cards, that's fair. I've tried to run Steam and some games on this PC. Some of them it runs, some of them it just kind of wheezes and asks me to stop. Running Tabletop Simulator on this thing is always a gamble. $420 buckaroos, limited collection box, like 100 cars. Yeah, you can paint it. I mean, I guess I could paint it. Play games, PC, they don't require you to buy cards. That's fair. I played Hearthstone for a little bit when some of my friends were into that. I wasn't good at it, but I did play it. Hector's sassing me about being bad at Hearthstone. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, not everyone owns an RTX 3090 like you, man. Some of us are peasants and are trying to work off a 6-year-old Microsoft Surface or whatever. We're just hanging in there as best we can. We do our best. It's all we can possibly do. Just watching this Vulture dry in real time. I think maybe I'll go back in with the pink and brighten up some areas, but he's looking pretty dope overall. I know you might not be able to see him sitting in the corner, but it's looking really cool. I'm really liking it. The wash did bring everything kind of down to that same tone. So if I add a gloss or something, I could bring it back up to like that candy quality, I think. See. I should focus on what I'm doing, painting this guy. But I'm excited. You did Hearthstone when it first came. Yeah, it's pretty monotonous. That's kind of how I felt. So again, maybe I just haven't found the right card game. Then Blizzard, you know, was kind of a shit company. So very quickly lost interest in its products. The tip of this brush is slowly dying. More like fart stone raffle. Yeah, exactly. They want you to buy cards in Hearthstone, right? But they're just digital cards. They're just selling you NFTs in your game. I think Pokemon is cool. I wasn't allowed to watch Pokemon as a child, again, because my mom was kind of crazy and was like, they are devils, and that is bad, and not in line with the Lord Jesus, who does not want you to play Pokemon. So I was not allowed to watch the Pokemon show, as a child. As an adult, I did watch it, and it's kind of, like, okay, but, you know, I don't have the nostalgia goggles to kind of forgive it of some of the flaws that it has. And I think that's kind of a shame. I did also play Pokemon Sword and Shield. So, that's the one Pokemon game I've played on the Switch. But then Animal Crossing came out, and as soon as that game hit, I didn't really play anything else on the Switch. I still really don't play anything else on the Switch, but boy do I play some Animal Crossing. If you're into Animal Crossing and play consistently, I would enjoy seeing your villagers in town. Worked very hard on my island. It's not done yet. It's still a work in progress. Probably always will be. Always be finding some new thing that I want to change or add, but it's coming along. It's coming along. If you say anything bad about your amount. You made an Instagram. Excellent. Keegan, what is your Instagram? What is your username? Let's get you some followers. All you have are old pics, so you gotta make a new one. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Alright, let us know when you're ready. And if it ends up, oh shit, okay, hang on. My phone's running on low battery. I'm gonna grab a charger. BRB, 1 second. I'm not gonna leave you. think we should be charging. Let's see. Yeah, we're charging again. We're powered up, heck! We got the power. We're back. Ugh. You think it throttled your uploads? I don't know if Instagram can do that. Maybe it can. I'm not sure. Hector seems to think so. You have strong opinions, baby? You sure do. He's letting me know that it's 9 o'clock, and this is usually the time where I sit down on the couch and watch an episode of television before bed. But I think I'm going to paint for another 30 minutes or so. So, he's going to have to wait. I'm just readjusting, shifting everything so that the cord to charge my phone can be plugged in. Everything will still be okay. I think we're fine. Never mind, just slow. You have no Instagram, got a Twitch account. Feel free to check out your fun gaming content. Okay, cool. GMJ says meow. Welcome. Thank you for meowing at us. Oh, you're probably just saying meow because Hector meowed. Duh. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna find your Instagram now, Keegan, before I forget. So I can give you a follow. So, we're waiting on that. Let's see. It's Herculor666. Hector is so sweet. You are correct. Yeah, I know, heck. Herculor666 does sound like your name. Yeah! Sounds like Hector. It's not Hector, but it sounds like it. I think he thinks that Herculor is a way cooler name than Hector. You do? Look at this mad lad. He's just hanging on to the bottom of my chair and screaming his little cat head off. Are you petitioning me to change your name to Herculor? Because it's not going to happen. Sorry, you're stuck with Hector. You didn't get your paw stuck in the chair, did you? No, you didn't. Okay. Sweet baby. Sweet little baby. Yeah. Sorry, I mean, he's adorable. You can't blame me for taking a break to pet this innocent child. Hector is a good boy and you're gonna swish him gently. Yeah, that's fair. I mean... Oh, was I not done petting you? You had to reach back for my hand? I wasn't done yet? You weren't done getting attention? Okay, now he's done. He's gone off into the kitchen. I think we're good. I think we're safe. You're very welcome. I'm gonna take a look at your stuff later, when I'm not painting, and I'll be sure to, like, see what you've got posted, and feel free to tag me if there, is anything that you would like me to see. Like, yeah, tag me in that. Just do an @LobsterPKMF Thermidor, so I can be sure that I see the one that you want me to see. It's helpful, because honestly, I follow a lot of people on Instagram, so stuff will get lost. But if you tag me in it, I'll be sure to see it, and comment on it, or share it, or whatever. So, that's the best way to make sure that I don't miss something if you want to show it to me. Is just go ahead and tag me in it. I won't be annoyed by being tagged and stuff, so don't worry about that. I have one friend who's always tagging me in, like, those giveaway posts and stuff, and I don't mind that either. So, if you're always like, if you're like, man, I really want to enter this giveaway, but I don't know who of my friends is going to not be pissed if I tag them and stuff, feel free to tag me in it. I don't give a crap. You do drawing requests? Oh, cool. I mean, Hector clearly thinks highly of your Instagram, and I'd love to see a drawing of Hector as, like, a battle gladiator. I think that would be really fun. There's photo references of my cat all over my Instagram, so it shouldn't be hard to find. But if you need more cat photos, I have 600 million of them. Like, a lot. Also, I have a TikTok where I post cat videos. So, there's that. I don't do anything serious on my TikTok. It is just a storage facility for cat videos. It contains no hobby content whatsoever. It does, however, contain a lot of cats. Hector, exactly. Exactly. You need a good camera and airbrush, and maybe this summer you'll finally get to show some of your minis online. I mean, I take all my photos and I record all of my videos with my phone, just because it's what I have. I'd like a nice camera, sure, but you can still take some, like, fairly decent photos of your minis with just a phone camera. In fact, I think Midwinter Minis has a really good tutorial on, like, how to do exactly that, like just using your phone camera and some lights, how to make photos be good. Yeah. My TikTok is Mothman at Denny's. That is the username that I went with because it was untaken and I thought it was funny. You're not changing your name to Herculor. I'm sorry. I was allowed to change my name, Hector, because I'm non-binary. You just want to sound cool. He's gonna argue about this all night. All night. He's a sassy little guy. But he's also on duty as emotional support because I have to spend the entire day taking phone calls tomorrow, and I'm really kind of nervous and scared about it. And I wish I could just, like, fast forward to, like, 3 weeks from now when I have some confidence build up. Mothman slapped my ass at a ghost concert. Yep. You know how the phrase you understand why Mothman at Denny's is funny. Yep. Correct. That is, yep. Good job. A+, gold star. Yeah, I think eBay Miniature Rescues and Wylock both do a lot just with their phone cameras. I don't think it's prohibitive to have a phone camera. If I had, like, better lighting and tried a bit harder, I could probably make better videos with my phone camera. But I'm still a novice at video making, and I'm still learning and stuff, so, you know, we're getting where we're getting. You guys think it's good enough to stick around for, at least, so that's the validation that I need. Midwinter Minis is such a comfy channel. That was the first hobby channel that I kind of started watching. Midwinter Minis was kind of my introduction into the YouTube miniature painting hobbies. And I really liked that Penny would be in some of his videos, and she would just be talking shit about how weird stuff was in Warhammer. And I was like, oh, hey, I can do that. I think weird stuff about Warhammer, too. Like, his tutorial for 40k is how I learned to play. I wish someone would, like, do Age of Sigmar tutorials and battle reports at, like, the same depth and quality level that he does, because his are really simple to watch and comprehend, and they don't take 3 hours to consume. But unfortunately, there's not, like, good Sigmar content like that out yet. I hope there is someday. But everything Age of Sigmar, like Battle Report-ish, is pretty long. Knowing absolutely nothing about Warhammer is a fun place to be. Everything is dumb and cool. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I agree. Hector doesn't know anything about Warhammer, so he's dumb and cool. Yeah, Dana Howe is a great channel, and Dana is such a nice person. I got to do a collab with her, and she's fantastic. She reached out. She liked my content, so she's been really, really great about stuff. She's just a really kind and interesting person to talk to. Yeah! We love Dana Howe, don't we, Hector? We love her and her content. Absolutely. She's such a talented painter. I want more small narrative bat reps without the dice rolling. Exactly. Exactly, Keegan. And trust me, if I understood the rules of Age of Sigmar at a level where I felt confident making battle reports and also had 2 Age of Sigmar armies to make battle reports with, I'd consider it. She hasn't finished her giant Age of Sigmar terrain, so yeah, I'm interested to see how she finishes that as well. I'm excited for it. Oh, my stream froze. Gosh darn it. What happened? What happened? Okay, camera's still active. Let's try this. Thanks for letting me know. Stop that. Close that. Reopen something. I'm still here. I'm still talking. Doop 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 doop. Let's see if we can get that back online. Just a moment while I see what's going on here. Droid cam app is up and ready. That's not connected. Let's try that again. There we go. Is that live? Looks like we got that back. I think we got it back. Vulture, shaky cam, painting orcs. I think we're back in business. Your one complaint is that Dana can't spell your name? I'm sorry about that. Did you support her on Patreon and she misspelled it or something? You should probably talk to her about it. She might be able to fix that. Cool. You see movement. Alright, it looks like we're back. Video with the Shakespeare actor reading Dark Millennium set to images, a great intro to the setting for some people. I don't know that I've seen that video. That sounds cool as hell, though. I would like to see that video. I'll have to see if I can find that, because that sounds really cool. Like Voldemort's lore videos. You want him to narrate battle reports. I have a friend named Martin who swears by Voldemort's content. Very much a fan. I think so. I think it's Martin. It might be Shane. I have one of my Warhammer friends is very, very into Voldemort. Listening to his Skull Taker video, aggressively making a sandwich in your kitchen. Sure. If that's the mood that gets you into it. You know what else is good? Hobby cheating. Vince is so boring in all the right ways. That's fair. That's fair. Sometimes you just want that too. You just want something easy to listen to in the background. For a while, I would just listen to like Goobertown Hobbies videos on repeat because they were soothing and I was very anxious. So I liked that. Haven't gotten into AOS, only got a few middle-aged minis in 40k. That's fair. I know Age of Sigmar isn't for everybody, just like 40k isn't for everybody. I happen to be painting Age of Sigmar right now because I love these cruel boys, so I enjoy it. But, you know, I want content for, you know, everything out there. She did. I'm now Josh Nosh Becca on her Patreon. Beautiful. Love it. Vincey V reminds you of all the old dudes at your local game store. That's cool. I think the closest, like, YouTuber to person at my local game store comparison that I have is the person who runs my, my Age of Sigmar League. He reminds me of Doug from 2+ Tough. I don't know if you've ever seen those Age of Sigmar videos, but that's probably the closest, like, I have this archetype of a person at my local game store, and it's fun. Vincey V sounds like an experienced Warhammer painter. I believe he is. I don't think he just sounds like. I believe he has the experience to back that up pretty firmly. Oh, this guy has little knee pads. That's so cute. He's worried about his knees getting dinged in battle, so he got knee pads made. He can go rollerblading after the war. If Wargaming was a person, he'd look like Vince. He is the avatar of our will. Wow, that is a lot to imbue one person with. You can't sleep. You keep coming back. Oh no, man. You're gonna have class before you know it. Shit. What you doing here? I mean, A, what am I doing still streaming after 3 hours? But B, you should be asleep. You have an old avatar of Kane to repaint? That sounds cool. Yeah, I suppose not sleeping is what you're doing here. That's fair. That's fair. I think the Vulture, the wash on him is probably dry enough that I could start painting him again, but I think I'm gonna be safe and just give it the old overnight to make sure. Excuse me. Make sure that that wash is really all set in. I always sit on my feet while I'm painting, like I tuck them under me like I'm a fucking bird or something, and they go numb after a while. That is probably going to lead to problems later in life. They've gone completely numb now. This is not ideal. I think I might need to get a more comfortable painting chair at some point. I think Goobertown swears by his chair. I should ask him what model of chair he has bought, and then buy the exact same chair. It's got the Goober seal of approval, so it's probably pretty good. I should paint more metal minis at some point. I did paint the one, which I think turned out pretty good. And I was surprised that painting a metal mini wasn't all too different from painting a regular mini. Definitely heavier, though. Felt like I could kill someone by hurling that metal mini at it. So maybe someday I need to find a good, like, random Warhammer old hammer lot and pick up some old orcs or something like that. Or see if they have any really goofy old, like, Blood Bowl models. I feel like those could be fun if they had those. I don't know how long Blood Bowl's been around for. Some amount of years, though, surely. You know how to pin pewter? That's pretty cool. That's probably a skill that I should learn if I do pick up painting old hammer models. That and figuring out how to clean, like, flash off of metal models. I hear that can be a step that people usually take. Along with cleaning mold lines, which I've never bothered to do. Ooh, my painting's starting to get pretty sloppy, too. Might be time to call it quits. Unfortunately. I'm losing a bit of dexterity. I think we made some good progress, though. Getting some more batch work done on these guys. We got Keegan to make an Instagram, which is pretty cool. Certainly we made a lot of progress on the Vulture. He's looking so good. Really pleased. It probably means I only have about, I don't know, I can't have more than 15 hours left to put into him, because it's always the base coating that takes forever in a day. So now that that's done and the wash is on, it's just polish, you know. It's putting in as many details as I care to put in until I'm like, all right, he's done, you know. It's kind of a when I decide it, because theoretically, I could slap him down on the table right now, just like this, and be like, yep, this is my model. He's got more than 3 colors, and he looks pretty good. I could play. I mean, I wouldn't... If someone put this down on a table, I wouldn't be like, that is an unfinished model. I'd be like, yep, that's your finished product. That's acceptable. That's totally cool. I'm probably going to do a little bit more than is here currently, but let's just say I wouldn't be mad to play against that. I think it would be perfectly fine. Ugh. Gotta put him back in the safety of my display case until he's ready to be taken out and worked on next time. Thanks everybody for being here, for watching the stream for so long. This was a long haul, and you guys hung in there for hours at a time. I really had a bunch of fun talking with all of you, seeing what you were painting. I'm really enjoying these streams, and I'm kind of the mind that I should keep doing them. Gotta find a good balance between streaming and like making videos, because it's hard to record what I'm painting and then make it into a video, so I have to find some separate time to just be me painting alone, not on the internet with people watching, so that I can then make a video of me painting on the internet so that people can, you know what I mean. The 2 different types of painting, really. But yeah, I really appreciate everybody for coming by, for saying nice things, having nice open-minded discussions too. I think that's quite valuable. Complimenting me on my makeshift paint water cup, you know? Why buy the fancy pot from GW when you can just use a plastic water bottle that you already had in your house? This is a measuring tool. It doesn't even need to be on my painting desk. Neither does this empty plastic bag, yet both of them are here. Yeah, so I don't think there's anything left for me to say other than thank you for coming to the stream, and I will see you in the next one.